Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. We're going right into the draft. The teams were ready to go pretty quick today, which you always love to see. It's the semifinals of Ascendant course. I'm Romeo, joined by Anti. We got Akuma Spikers taking on True-Minded Gaming Flash. How are you doing, Anti?
I am doing well. I mean, anytime that I do get a chance to cast with you, obviously it's a wonderful time. And Akuma Spikers and TMG Flash are two of the teams I've actually been most excited to see in playoffs, because Akuma, while they are coming in as the 5th seed, right, this is a team where you hop in and you say, yeah, I have no clue what Akuma were doing during the regular season. It does not matter. Every single time that an Akuma team gets into playoffs, they come alive in playoffs. We've seen Akuma teams go from 1st seed to never dropping a game in playoffs. We've seen Akuma teams just like start absolutely stomping in playoffs because they had all these strats just hidden away. And TMG Flash, on the other hand, another one of the teams from a very storied organization where they're always a top tier contender. So right now it's a matter of shenanigans versus consistency, right? You know, peaks versus your averages. And I don't know what we're going to be having. What we do have is a Jarvan pickup, so it's likely that we're going to be seeing an Orianna takeaway. So here we are, the Wukong over here.
Yeah, Wukong. I like Wukong and Jarvan personally. I think it's one of those very solid pickups. You obviously have the way out of it. I think drafting Jarvan early is a bit scary. I love Jarvan as a jungler, but it gives them the opportunity to draft a ton of things that can get out of that Cataclysm, like that Kai'Sa. You don't seem to love the Kai'Sa B2 or R2.
Not R2. This is a really early Kai'Sa pick, and especially because of the current meta where, you know, people are picking so many mages and other thing like that. Like, this very much could be the AP Kai'Sa, so that way you go, you know, with like the Ludens and the Voltaic Cyclo Sword, that sort of thing. But the thing about Wukong and Kai'Sa is that you just broadcast immediately to the enemy team, we are diving you. So sometimes you have teams that decide to go, yeah, so I know you're going to dive me, so I'm going to pick disengage. But Akuma Spikers, they're on blue side. They are also a very balls to the wall team, so they are not going to see that and restructure their composition. Instead, they're just going to go with the composition that they want to build. Orianna is still on the table for both of these teams, which I would be very, very surprised to see it go through, considering, you know, Orianna Jarvan still extremely strong, unless that Victor is going into the mid lane, which honestly, into a Kai'Sa, not what I would anticipate.
No, I agree with you. It does feel like they've locked in the Victor, almost like they're waiting for support R4 and they're going to slam their bot lane based on that, but I don't. I imagine they're just going to slam their mid R4 and give that support to R5. Yeah, it's going to be that Veigar. I'm assuming that's going to be a Veigar mid into the Victor, which, I mean, that mid lane just going to be scaling. Victor will be online a little bit earlier.
So, like, it could very well be a Veigar into the Victor in the mid lane, but I think that this Veigar in particular is just designed to follow the Victor around wherever, right? So it could go into bot lane, could go into mid lane, but we already see these champions, and I think we know exactly where it is that they're going. Ezreal Karma, once again, very good at dealing with these backline diving team compositions. I'm honestly a little bit surprised to see the Veigar pick up, because Veigar is usually one of those champions you pick when you're the ones trying to avoid a diver. But, you know, I digress. It's a little bit of a mismatch for some of these teams. I don't know who I would give it to directly, but my gut feeling right here is I'd probably give this one over to... Hold on, is it TMG Flash on red side? Because it says AKM Fluke.
It is supposed to be TMG. Wait. Yeah, that is totally wrong. Ignore the sheet. That is not supposed to be True-Minded Gaming. Someone had to botch some. Wait. No, it is. It is true. It is True-Minded Gaming Flash. No, we're chilling. We are so chilling.
Okay.
It's True-Minded Gaming into Akuma. Yeah, no, we're so good. I believe.
All right. Either way, we're just gonna have to see how things do go. I believe it is Akuma on red side and TMG Flash on blue side. So right now, I think I would probably have to give that, you know, overall to Akuma Spikers because I like this team. Like, I think that they have a lot going for them if they do choose to dive in, and they have the Vigar in order to make sure that the Jarvan and Renekton dive buddies can't just run all over your bot side.
Yeah, I also would throw it over to Akuma. I think the Ezreal cover pick is really strong. I'm curious to see how this Renekton Garen lane goes. I think Garen fits the we blow someone up a little better, but compared to the Renekton with their like kind of disengage comp. But I do think if that guy can be a strong frontline source for Akuma, they're going to go a long way. I think the Jarvan is really nice at disengaging alongside with the Ezreal and Karma and leaving something behind. That Ignite's going to go through. It looks like Firefly is going to pick up the first blood immediately here.
Yeah, first blood in the 1v1 pre-6. That is extremely, extremely good for Akuma Spikers here, especially because that Garen is a huge part of what you're going to be able to do to a champion like Ezreal. If you get an auto attack onto the Ezreal as the Garen, especially with that Q, you have the ability to make sure that the Ezreal, even if he flashes and arcane shifts away, doesn't get a chance to play the game, right? Either he's with his team and he's unable to use any of his mystic shots, or he's trapped in the middle of your team and he's completely silenced, right? Garen is one of those highly underrated top lane picks here, and I think that if you have the opportunity to make use of him in a dive composition, pretty great pickup.
Yeah, I think, especially if you can get that Garen ahead and take with the Renekton, like I was just saying, we lose that front line, and obviously if you can get a Garen ahead, he blows people up so well. He's doing a great job in the Renekton right now. That Beyblade maneuver is just leaving him spinning for days and taking all of Renekton's health, but there's a big engagement here coming in that river. It looks like Fun Phoenix might be locked down in place of their Jarvan. Flash is going to be burnt, but they're going to flash right on top. Itakana going to find Fun Phoenix. It should be a get out for Blush here. It does look like Blush and Not Important are going to get away, but they do find the support.
Yeah, it's a lot of commitment coming in from Akuma Spikers here. They really, really want all of those kills, but those extra bits of commitment do turn out to be a little bit too greedy, right? The target selection just wasn't quite there. Fluke not able to pick up the kill onto Fun Phoenix early, but also very much not able to pick up the kill onto Not Important. In the meantime, top lane is disgusting for the side of Akuma Spikers. If you do not get a jungler coming top lane very soon, this is an extremely dunzo lane for Rainy. You can see Not Important pathing up towards that top side, making sure that there is no opportunity for the dive. But with Itakonic looking at this top lane, that is still something that you have to worry about if you are the Renekton.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always worried when I see an early death in the top lane. I think it gets super... Top is one of those lanes where it just gets so unplayable so fast, especially when you're playing champions like Renekton and Garen, where they're so reliant early on being ahead in lane. Like, I feel like both those champions have such a hard time playing from behind.
Yeah, I would argue that Renekton definitely has a much easier time playing from behind than the Garen, because, you know, all Garen really does provide is the ability to split push, you know, the point and click silence, which is nice to avoid the backline divers actually doing anything to your team. But Renekton at least has the point and click CC. Now, the big thing to note here is that with the Renekton versus Garen in that side lane, only one of these two have the teleport available. In the meantime, mid lane looking not so great for our hero, Vigar.
No, that Chaos Storm is going to be doing a lot of damage to Vigar, but he is going to be able to get away here. I mean, it's going to be a bit of a difficult lane for Anthony early. I think Victor obviously scales a bit quicker, especially once he gets that upgraded E. It's going to make things even easier for him in that lane. But Veigar, his goal is just to play safe, get stacks, and outscale that Victor, which he should be able to. He'll make a better late game insurance, and he does kind of fit the identity of just blowing people up. I think it's also worth noting in this game, we do have Blush subbing in for True Minded Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
With the Ezreal sub in for Lien 1-2-3, and I'm curious to see how that's going to impact this game as well, because obviously ADC is a huge part of your team, especially once we get past that 20-25 minute mark. Very, very important in how you play some of those team fights, and so having that ADC sub can be all the difference in the world in terms of losing the game from not being comfortable. Anthony barely staying alive here. That's going to be the burst damage. Can he finish the job? Meanwhile, Dragon just taken. Ghost was used from Victor there. Fight going to be breaking out of the pit. It does look like Interconnex going to be able to claim that Ocean Dragon and get out. A lot of bloodshed, so close to coming.
Yeah, so close to coming through. Anthony there was certain that last auto would get the kill, but unfortunately not going to be able to do it for him. The Vigar, still something you have to be very careful about. Victor, at the very least, can get a lot of this poke going, but look at those minions, right? If you look at that mid lane, it's going to be very, very happy for our Vigar fans. I mean, I think any champion with a big hat is one that you just have to cheer for. No, but in the end, Anthony on this Vigar still struggling a little bit as far as the direct laning is concerned, but very much not struggling as far as the scaling is.
Yeah, not at all. I think Pumpkin kind of had a bit of fear drawn into his system with how close that burst came. I think Primordial Burst does so much more damage than people really give it credit to, especially in the early game. I think a lot of times people don't realize how online a Veigar can be post level 6 if he's able to find the red engage, and that's where he found it. You need to be very careful if you're pumping, but he does have that flash advantage over Anthony. Anthony does still have that TP available. That's going to be the cage. It is found. Jarvan going to be going in. There's the Flag and Drag Cataclysm going to land right on top of Anthony. Anthony's got nowhere to go. Tries to find the angle, but isn't able to. That's going to be Anthony falling. Not important. Going to pick up the kill.
Yeah, going to be able to pick up that kill, and not important getting those early kills. Very, very high value here, but more importantly, a takedown for Pumpkin on the Victor. I was saying that it was very much looking good for Anthony on that Vigar as far as the scaling goes, but early takedowns really, really, really good for anyone playing one of these stacking champions.
Yeah, early takedowns are huge, especially on a champion like Victor. You get that upgrade so much quicker. I imagine Victor comes back with the upgraded Hextech Ray and starts shoving these waves on repeat. Might have a chance to roam despite being one of the slower champions if he wants. He's got those boots picked up. On top of that, I mean, the damage on Anthony is going to be so much worse. There you see it. There's the Hextech Ray ready to go.
Yeah, in the meantime, bot lane... Yeah, it is going to get difficult. Bot lane, in the meantime, just very consistent CS lead coming in for Blush here. Like, I'm loving the, experience that we're seeing on this Ezreal, just playing very, very well, understands what his limits are, able to walk up when necessary and walk away when it's just not an opportunity. Rainy doing quite a lot of damage here. I think it's pretty far from lethal unless... There we go.
Dominus pop. Is going to be Fireflan's going to stay on top. The Ignite goes through. That's going to be the Demacian. Just as the last tick of that Ignite is going to finish the job. Ignite over TP and lane every time. Fireflan's up 13 CS and 2 kills over that reduction. Might come back to lane pretty close to his item.
Yeah, I mean, I was certain that it was far from lethal because both of these champions have the flash up, have the ability to just disengage if they so do desire. But in the end, it is going to be the full kill coming through for Fireflan's once again. And I mean, that is absolutely, like, without a doubt in my mind, going to be an, Axiom Arcanist Garen. So that, I mean, that ulti ends up doing even more true damage than you really expect each and every time. Just a little bit of an extra step forward, and you find yourself in the loving arms of Demacia.
Yeah, and Fireflan's, I consistently through Ascendant League this split, has shown himself to be maybe the best top laner inside of this split of Ascendant. I think we've seen him constantly. I remember saying it early on in the seasons where Cataclysm goes flash, good flash from Anthony. But yeah, we've seen it early on in the season. Fireflan's is usually consistently able to find a strong advantage over his opponents in lane. He might not be the best tank player in the world, but on these bruisers, he does so much work. And he's already back in lane with the Trinity Force. That should give him even more of an advantage over Rainy, where Rainy's going to have a hard time even touching these minions if Fireflan's is playing it right. I don't know how Rainy comes back in this game outside of team fights.
Yeah, I mean, the answer is he just doesn't, right? As far as the team fighting goes, at the very least, you're always going to be able to be useful as that Renekton. But side lane is so far done when it comes to the 1v1, right? Rainy has to play it very, very safe, make sure that these minions can't just get shoved into the tower each and every time. In the meantime, not important, needs to find a way how to do something to help out this Renekton. And it's not just a matter of, the jungler needs to come top. It's a matter of, as a team, TMG Flash need to understand that they do not have a response to this Garen as far as the 1v1 goes. This is level 11 to level 9. That early quest going to be fully finished up for Fireflans here, so the teleport is available into this bot lane fight.
Yeah, the bot lane fight is beginning to rage on here with that second dragon spot. Wukong going to be the first to get to it. Worth noting, Anthony already had 105 stacks. I feel like getting 100 stacks this quick on Veigar is kind of impressive. I mean, there's been a lot of engaging, and I'm sure you know a bit more about the Veigar stack timings than I do. There's going to be a bit of an engagement, not important, who gets completely stunned up here from Iconic. The clone is going to take most of the damage from the Chaos Storm. It's not moving. Meanwhile, on the top side, huge engagement goes through. Primordial Burst, it's going to help finish the job on not important. That's the jungler down for True Minded Gaming Flash. Chief going to be jumping in, might be sacrificing his life to help his team get a little bit further in the fight. Killer Instinct
Fluke
in the back, but Fluke gets annihilated. And just like that, they do get the Hextech Drake, but it's 2 souls for 1.
Yeah, Pumpkin just has barely enough.
Oh, wait, make it 3, maybe? And Iconic tries to get on Pumpkin, but the Fun Phoenix is going to be able to find the stun. That's going to be the gravity well. Anthony goes down. Pumpkin back to the turret, and now Pumpkin falls as well.
Yeah, and Pumpkin going to be able to get a second kill in that fight. It was bloody, it was merciless, but it is going to be TMG Flash coming out on top. Who cares about the single dragon? In the meantime, Fireflans was just stopped from actually getting a chance to teleport down into that fight. Rainy sussed out the teleport, immediately got that stun going, managed to stay alive after that point. But in the end, the big important thing for Akuma is that they were playing that 4v4, and you do not have a gold lead without this Garen in your fight.
No, not at all. Without the Garen, it's hard to take a team fight here without the Garen, straight up.
Oh,
and
Anthony.
Anthony's screwed. Fun Phoenix shows up. Gravity Well is going to stun him. He tries to go up and get a couple more stacks of Pumpkin. Going to turn the lights completely out on Anthony there. It's starting to look pretty rough in that mid lane.
Yeah, it's just a lot of, focus onto this. Veigar has no flash, has no ghost, has no way how to get out of a lot of these really, really simple ganks, right? You can have Fun Phoenix come in with a Karma, and you just get a root down because you can't actually walk away from that root as the Veigar. You could play around with
Chief going to be caught here completely in the Cataclysm. Good night to Chief. Pumpkin on his 4th kill. I think that's all of his things upgraded besides maybe his ultimate at this point. Actually, with the 3 assists, I think he has everything upgraded.
I believe so. I mean, Iconic already taking a lot of damage here. Wukong doesn't really have that much in terms of the magic resist as far as the base stats go, but take a look at more than just the base stats. Take a look at these bases, right? 1 tower being taken for the side of Akuma Spikers, but this might change very, very soon. Look at all of this damage coming in onto this bot tower. I mean, Fluke has been doing a wonderful job on this. Kaisa been a little bit greedy in some of these fights, but the big thing is Blush, despite being a sub, has been playing phenomenally. I mean, just very, very cleanly managing to get that gold lead, able to just output damage from a very safe distance each and every time, able to pick up the CS differential, and the fact that you're managing to pick up that gold lead against a champion that has Cole available, I mean, I think even with the Cole pop, Blush still manages to have a lead in the gold department.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. With the call pop, Ezreal has a little bit of a lead. It's not a huge one. I think it's 500 gold right now, extra in the pocket of Ezreal. Meanwhile, it's still so much gold for Akuma Monkeys. That's going to be
From
a cycle
behind?
onto Pumpkin. Can they find maybe anything here? It is going to be a full gold kill onto Pumpkin. The Wukong going to be happy to get that. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Blush going to fall. Fun Phoenix could follow. They're able to trade ADCs. Who wins out of Chief and Karma? Chief going to be getting a lot of the consistent damage. I think Fun Phoenix is going to be able to get back to their turret here. It's close.
Yeah, I mean,
Wukong
Mantra W does...
Nah.
Yeah, Mantra W means that it's basically impossible to lose that 1v1 as the Karma. But, you know, Itaconic coming in, making sure that it is not just a matter of support or combat, because Chief is here. Chief is able to be that frontliner. And more importantly, Chief is able to get the stuns off in the right spot, meaning that Blush ends up going down in that fight here. Anthony gonna try to put out more and more damage on this mid lane. As we said earlier, all this Fire has to do is scale. In the meantime, Fireflans is doing a lot more than just scaling.
Yeah, Fireflans is running this top side of the map. He has so much going for him. Of course, that Wukong also a little bit ahead of the Jarvan. Despite Anthony's consistent deaths, the rotation from X-Fluke has helped him take that mid turret, so they're going to open up the map even more. That topside jungle could be theirs if they just want to invade it on repeat with Fireflans and Itaconic. And there's not much that this Jarvan is going to be able to do, and that would be step one to putting that Jarvan behind to help run the rest of the map. You know that Victor is strong. Obviously, with the rotations of the ADC, that mid side's a little bit closer, and you've broken that turret. But you need to make sure you get this Jarvan gone and take every advantage you can. If you are going to open up the tops of this map like this early, you want to take everything you can.
Yeah, you definitely want to be able to take as many resources as physically possible here, but as this dragon spawns in 15 seconds, neither of these teams are in the right place at the right time. Instead, we're contesting over mid lane, we're contesting over bot lane, and Rainy just going to be pushing out that top wave. You have the teleport available, but are you going to be able to come there in time for this fight?
From Itaconic. Fun Phoenix is the first one to disappear from the rift. There's going to be the flagging drag out for not important. That should be the end of the fight, but that should mean Dragon is going to go to Akuma Spikers once again. It'll be their second Dragon here, unless not important attempts to steal. Pumpkin going to be out of this fight. Killer Instinct into Pumpkin. Pumpkin flash is, but doesn't get very far. Akuma Fluke is traded from the Victor, but now Jarvan going to be forced to flash out. It's 2 for 1. Blush on the run from Fireflans. That's Cataclysm forced to be used to keep Fireflans away. Lots of damage going to go out, but unironically, the Krogs maybe saving Fireflans' life there. They get the Dragon, and it looks like they're going to get the bot T1 as well as a consolation prize.
Yeah, and Anthony going to be able to do as much damage to this tower as possible. In the meantime, Rainy, all Rainy was able to do was get that wave into the top lane. At the very least, you're going to be able to trade towers here. But this is exactly what I was criticizing earlier, right? So TMG Flash, they weren't there early enough, and more importantly, they weren't able to be in a position where they could teleport this Renekton down into that bot lane fight. You have to be teleporting earlier. You have to be rotating earlier, right? It's playoffs. It's a best of 5. Your life is on the line each and every week. This time, if you falter, there is no coming back. And Akuma Spikers, I sang praises for this org earlier in the broadcast, as we're seeing once again just have a remarkable ability to just pop off once playoffs roll around.
Yeah, and I mean, they're showing it here in full force. They are kind of dominant right now. And I don't think anything really has to do with the Lien sub right now, because Blush is playing pretty well on this Ezreal. There's just a lot happening. I don't know if the nerves have kind of taken over a bit for True Minded Gaming Flash, but I feel like we were talking about TMG a little bit as an org, and I feel like TMG is one of those orgs that they do consistently well in the season, and then playoffs has always been questionable for TMG across Titan, because obviously they have teams outside of Ascendant, I believe, as well right now, and they kind of have their moments, but also in playoffs, they're not a team that necessarily shines. And I think that's something we're kind of seeing True Meta Gaming fight for. But despite having a bit of a kill lead, they are still 1.5 thousand gold down. Fireflans is decimated Rainy. We have Pumpkin, who's kind of their hero and their late game insurance, and we're kind of having all eyes on him in the Jarvan combo to help win some of these fights. But as shown in that last fight, he's having a bit of a difficult time. Fluke's able to get on him, Itaconic's able to get on him, and if Anthony's alive and is able to hit the Primordial Burst and fight before going down, that's basically good enough from the Veigar.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will note about TMG Flash, right, and also just a lot of TMG teams in general, is they are good teams. They are wonderful teams, and a lot of these players are players where if you have to fight against them on the enemy team, you are not happy about it. The big thing about TMG that I will also say is a lot of the times in these playoffs, you see the same kind of performance that you got during the regular season, right? It's always good. It's always consistent. But the question is, are you going to be able to rise to the level of competition when your opponents start going pedal to the metal, gas, no brakes?
Gas, no brakes. I like it. Lightning McQueen. Hit the, what's that famous racing quote? I'm just going to hold down on the gas till I see a checkered flag or God. I kind of want to see that from one of these. Have you not heard that?
No, the only thing I know about racing has to do with horses.
I don't think it's from Daytona 500, but there's a famous... That is true. You do know. We talked about this last week. You do know your horse racing. There's a quote, and there's a guy, and it's... If you ever know that technique with cars, which they do in the Lightning McQueen movie, like I think they do in Cars 1 or 2, where you slam your car... Oh, one moment. Fire flans. Speaking of putting the gas on the pedal to the metal, not important. Going to be going for that cataclysm, but the killer instinct is going to finish the job. And now Rainey might be caught. It's a beautiful catch out, and that should be Baron confirmed for Akuma very, very early into this game. That might be a 22-minute Baron. We do see Pumpkin and Blush trying to do a little bit to prevent it, but Wukong's going to be on the side. Cyclone's still up. Good night to Pumpkin. Oh, God, everyone's falling here. It's only going to be the bot lane surviving, as this Baron should easily go over to Akuma.
Yeah, and all of that started with a beautiful pick by Fireflans, right? This Garen walks up, silences you. Good luck. If you can manage to survive throughout the entirety of that combo, there is still the rest of his team standing by, ready and waiting. Just follow up. And in the meantime, Fluke just gets caught out for just a short moment, but as we mentioned, the rest of the team's sitting there, waiting, watching, and ready to get so much value off of this. Anthony getting taken down in this bot side, but a teleport in, and Fireflames is definitely going to go at the very least 1-for-1.
He did. Anthony was able to kill Fun Phoenix just as we came back from the replay there. Fun Phoenix did go down to the Primordial Burst, so it ends up being a 2-for-1. Garen, the damage from the Demacian Justice. I think not important to let like half his health bar go down to the true damage. That is insane.
Yeah, one thing to note here, take a look at what Fireflans is building, right? That's some extra lethality as well. This is bound to be a huge amount of damage coming from this Garen in every single opportunity. I mean, we've seen just how much damage crit Garens can actually pull off. It is absolutely disgusting to the point that people have advocated for bot lane Garen. But in the meantime, Fireflan's just going to be making a trip around the world. Is the Flash Cataclysm to stop him?
God, he does get stopped. It is a big shutdown going Ezreal's way off that play. I think that was a little bit overambitious from that Garen. The question is it going to cost them? It is a full 1,000 gold shutdown ending up in the hands of Blush, but we haven't seen Blush yet. So now that we have Blush with a bunch more gold in his hand, the question is, can he do something with it? Of course, they are 7,000 gold down here. So it is not an easy game for Blush to try and make some hero plays.
Yeah, meanwhile, 3 in the top side for TMG Flash, and the rest of the team starts making their way over to save their mid laner. Anthony in very good hands here. In the meantime, Chief and Fluke just going to be taking this jungle as much as possible. Itaconic's just going to get that last bonk onto the blue buff, but here we are with less than 4 minutes on both of these major objectives. The Soul will be a huge turning point for this game. And by turning point, I mean it will certainly be the end. If TMG Flash go for the steal, they can manage to make a game-saving play, but we are far past the point where TMG Flash have opportunities to make singular game-winning plays unless they can find mistakes from Akuma each and every time.
Yeah, you need the mistakes. You're sitting there and you're just hoping that Garen makes another play where he's jumping to that Cataclysm. You're hoping Kaiser Killer Instinct's a little bit too far into a Chaos Storm. You need to pick up these bounties on Itaconik and Fluke if you want any chance at getting back into this game. Obviously, the Baron is over, so that's good for them for a little bit of time. They get, what? 3 minutes of safety here, but they got 2 minutes and 50 on that Dragon. It is soul point for Akuma Spikers. And I mean, if you get Mountain Soul and Fireflans, how do you play the game? Fireflans, though, is maybe caught here. His team's a little late on the rotate. Fireflans going to be able to find the Renekton with the Demacian Justice. At the very least, it's a 1-for-1, but still going to be a stronger kill on their side, with Renekton being worth, what, a cannon minion at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it is tough for Rainy, but at the very least, going to be able to pick up some value for his team. In the meantime, Fluke getting a little bit of alone time with this mid tower, and this fully stacked up, fully evolved Kaisa is going to be doing so much work. In the meantime, Blush has consistently managed to pick up a lot of gold and do a lot of damage from very safely and far away, but the big thing about Ezreal that is the reason why a lot of people don't like having an Ezreal on their team at the higher levels of play is that you can get a big
there's going to be a big magnet storm going in. It finds two. Blush going to fall. Karma going to fall. And Not Important tries to find that Cataclysm, but it doesn't matter. Iconic able to get out. It's a triple kill already over to Fluke. And just like that, Pumpkin might be able to clear the wave. His whole team has died right before his eyes.
Yeah, and just as I was saying, Romeo, right, you can get a big fight off, you can get a lot of damage off, you can stay safe for as long as you can there, but are you actually going to be able to do enough damage to net some kills for your team? Are you going to be able to actually get to a point where all this poke turns into a team fight win? Are you going to be able to get to the point where this Ezreal starts taking over the game? And Blush has been performing admirably, but I just don't think that it's in the future for TMG Flash, at least not in game number 1.
No, this very much feels like we start asking what went wrong this game, where do we go, and we just kind of try our best not to tilt. It's, of course, going to be a 5-game series. You got a long way to go from here. Just because they win one on red side doesn't mean you're not going to be able to, except when you get the side selection next game. Yeah, fully agree with you where it becomes this point of, hey, we're down a lot of gold. We know we're down a lot of gold. We can try to steal Mountain Soul. Maybe we give Mountain Soul and try to defend for 5 minutes and steal an Elder. And that's our way back into the game. But I think the question right now is, what do we do in the next draft to come back? You were watching it, Iconic. They're just driving all over their faces right now. Killer Instinct in the back. Blush is found. Not Important going to be found right next. Does find the Cataclysm. Maybe finds Fluke. No, it's too much damage going over. That's an easy ace coming out of the squad. And that should be the game. Akuma Spikers going to be able to find a definitive Game 1 victory over True Minded Gaming Flash.
Yeah, beautiful play coming in from Akuma Spikers, also just juggling that tower aggro to make sure that they got enough minions to take out this Nexus, take out game number 1, and take out the seeding as far as the confidence goes. Once again, Akuma always going to be a hugely terrifying team once playoffs comes around.
Yeah, I think Akuma, like you said, they're an org that they come to playoffs and show up. Like, on paper in the regular season, I believe they were 5th in the total standings.
They were 5th seed coming in.
So yeah, this is 5th seed against the 2nd seed. To be fair, the difference is a 4-3 series versus a 5-2 series. It's not really that big of a difference when we're in leagues as small as this. Only 2 teams got cut out of the playoffs. It is not as small of something that you would see. And at the end of the day, XSV Neon chose to take Zaffa on over Akuma Spiker. So even the first seed team decided,
there's a reason.
Hey, we'll see if they're showing playoffs. We'll just take the last Zaffa team remaining, and you guys see, let us scout Akuma in your series. And right now, it's looking like XSV Neon made the right decision. This was just an incredibly played game from Akuma Spikers, and especially my personal MVP of this game 1. Fireflans decimated that top lane and left nothing in his path. I watched Troy fall in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Fireflans on that Garen pick. More importantly, the Garen pick was so good into this team, and Fireflans played it beautifully, getting that early first blood. And I've said it once, I'll say it a billion times. Top lane is a lane for psychopaths when it comes to competitive play. You die once, you die the rest of the laning phase. But now the question is this series going to follow the path of top lane, or are we going to be seeing some redemption in the rest of this best of 5? Don't go anywhere, because game 2 is right around the corner.
Well, lads and chads, we are back, of course. It's True-Minded Gaming Flash taking on Akuma Spikers. Akuma up 1-0. Sides are going to be the same on this one. How are we feeling about that, Anti?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's a little bit interesting here, right? So a lot of the times when you are playing blue side, right, you have the ability to dictate the way how the draft goes. You bring out your pick, you say, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do with it. A lot of the times when you see something like the Jarvan picked up on blue 1 is because you're going to be pairing it with the Orianna. You already know exactly why it is that you are taking these picks. You understand what kind of a team composition you're going to do. And last time Akuma saw the Jarvan and said, we're just going to go for a dive comp. And then TMG Flash kind of lacked a little bit of identity for their team composition, right? They kind of had mixed feelings as to whether or not they're going to go for a dive or whether they're going to go for a disengage. In the meantime, Akuma had a dive composition that had a very, very strong side lane in Garen, but had a Veigar for the fallback. I still don't really like the Veigar pick, but at the very least in Fearless, if you're going to be taking Veigar early, you're not going to be losing out on the stronger picks that you want to hold on to for later in the game. In the meantime, speaking of strong picks, Locke gonna be taken up for TMG Flash here. Haven't seen so much success for Locke in terms of the competitive play, but have seen a lot of success for him in solo queue. So I don't know if these teams have it in them to really bring it out in a competitive setting, but we're definitely going to be seeing it come to fruition. Trundle almost certainly going to be picked up by the side of TMG Flash in response to this Wukong. There we go. I mean, it's kind of funny because I've been saying that Trundle has been like a very classic counter pick to the Xin Zhao for a long time, but it's only relatively recently that teams started really picking back up on that. Trundle Ornn, a very, very good combo here. So I like that these teams are picking things that actually do work well together.
I think both these picks work really well with the Locke as well. What I've noticed from casting is Locke is one of those champions that if you can thrive in chaos or have great setup, you can do a lot with it. I don't love it into Cassiopeia, but I think having the setup of Ornn and the subjugate from Trundle can mean that Locke just blows up at least one person. And if you can get fed, he's still strong. I think the nerfs did a lot to making him more balanced. Yorick going to be the answer, and I'm curious about your opinion of this. Obviously, last time we see Fireflans dominate that lane, the point of the Ornn is to kind of just say, hey, we see what happens top. Rainy, you're on tank duty. You come with us to team fights. We win the game through that. How impactful do you think having the Yorick on the split push is going to be?
I don't know, right? The thing is, it's so common that anytime someone does pick up an Ornn, you immediately respond with the Mordekaiser as the counter pick. Mordekaiser was available. Mordekaiser is playable. Mordekaiser is very playable in today's meta as well, but then you might think to yourself, well, maybe they're trying to flex that Ornn into the support position or something along those lines, and you're just going to pair it with a Senna, right? But instead, it is just going to be that top lane Ornn front to back. So we are waiting for that late game insurance. Honestly, this is a wonderful team composition for a Seraphine on either side of these teams. Yes. Lulu going to be picked up for Jinx, which is very, very solid. In the meantime, Lux would be great. Seraphine would be incredible when you have... Yeah, Seraphine would be incredible when you have the, you know, Cassiopeia available. There we are. Man, I do love Seraphine, and I love that she's finally been unlocked from Ashe. This champion opens up so many possibilities here, but TMG Flash had to have seen that angle coming, so knowingly picking up the Lulu and not the Milio in response tells me that they have some sort of answer here. I'm thinking it's going to be the Locke Trundle gang squad into that bot lane, so we're just gonna see what it actually turns into on the Rift.
I mean, if Locke stays in lane, they lose the game. Locke needs to be roaming. You have a Jinx and Lulu that if you get behind, it's a really easy game. I think the Lulu pick's really good for true-minded gaming, though. You're able to hit... I mean, Polymorph has two good targets, right? You either land it on the Xin Zhao when he crosses... not crosses guards, but it actually charges in. You land it on the Locke when he dives and goes for the... what is it? The Purgatory, I think it's called. I keep wanting to say Requiem, but that's Karthus. The Purgatory. If you're
What if we just gave them Requiem?
Yeah, honestly, that champion can use it. Why not? He can
Right?
hit Requiem,
Like-
and that's like his E, and then his ultimate can be Purgatory. It's all good.
What if it was just his auto attack?
Why not? Honestly, I think that makes so much sense. God, that champion, like, I've been okay with the champions they've released for the most part over their last 3 or 4 releases. Locke made me want to eat dirt. I hated Locke's release was like the worst release I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I mean, Locke's release, in my personal experience, really, really reminiscent of Echo's release.
I don't even think I was around for Echo's release.
Echo was around a long time ago at this point. But it's been a while since we got an AP assassin that outputs this much damage this quickly. So we're gonna have to see whether or not these fights are going to be as quick as the Locke can output that damage. And it is going to be the Electrocute for the Locke, not going to be the Storm Raider. So a lot less survivability coming in from Pumpkin, but let's look at all this damage early on. Thankfully, Anthony able to deny that early auto attack, so it's not going to be a huge amount of damage coming through from either of these Qs.
Yeah, no, I think I'm surprised to see Jinx doing so much damage off the rip here, getting a ton of chunk onto that Caitlyn. You really don't love that if it's the Caitlyn lane, and with the way this lane's pushing, it does look like there's a good chance Blush and Fun Phoenix hit that level 2 first, and that can be so damning for Akuma so early into this match. Meanwhile, that mid lane, Cassiopeia going to be taking control. Not too surprised. I mean, range into melee. That's what you see. We see Trundle pathing away from the York. Both of them pathing towards that Caitlyn lane. I mean, Zin kind of has to. I'm not sure how I feel about Trundle pathing bot. I think it can be okay. I mean, matching Zin's always good for him. But on the other side of it, you get that York ahead, and they don't have an answer.
I mean, I think the Trundle pathing bot's totally fine because, like, don't get me wrong, if York gets ahead, there's very little that you can do on the side of TMG Flash. But also, if you're ganking the York this early on as the Trundle, you're really not going to be able to get that much off of it, right? You don't have
True enough.
Maximum amount of damage that you need in order to have lethal, and chances are your Ornn is going to be the one getting poked out and not the Yorick. So, honestly, it makes a lot more sense to be pathing towards that bot side just to make sure that Shinzao's not able to get any early kills onto your hyper carry.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, obviously they're going to be meeting around the same time. It does look like Trundle's going to be at that Scuttle Crab first, unless Zin drops his blue buff, which he doesn't look like he's doing. Should be an easy scuttle. I'd like to see a double scuttle come out of Not Important, but the question is, does Itaconic have a scuttle, right? Because there's a world Itaconic just backs, immediately goes for that top scuttle, gets to claim himself a scuttle, but then Caitlyn and Seraphine are a little bit left out to dry. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. He's going right to the top scuttle. He has it scouted. He understands that his bot pushing means he can't do anything. Meanwhile, Pumpkin on top of Anthony. The Ignite's going to go, but Anthony, one more shot will do it. Never mind. The flash forward is the first blood for Locke, followed with the return by Xin Zhao.
Yeah, first blood going to Pumpkin, extremely crucial there. Burned both of the summoners, and Anthony is going to be able to teleport straight back into this mid lane. But first blood means that you get even more far ahead on one of the most snowbally champions we've seen in a hot minute. In the meantime, as we can see right here, just very, very good training coming in from Rainy. And here's that fight once again. Pumpkin just backs off, waits for the cooldowns, flashes forward, gets that one auto, gets the second, and there it is. Understand that Itaconic was coming at right that moment. You just trade for the kill, but trade up.
Yeah, I think here's the thing. On Locke, you get the ball rolling, right? Locke accelerates by being that snowball champion. On the other hand, Xin also can do so much with those early kills, right? If you're playing that Xin Zhao and you get early kills, you become not only one of the best 1v1ers in the jungle, and even into Trundle. I know Trundle is like the traditional counter pick to Xin Zhao, but Xin Zhao has an easy time engaging into Trundle in like a 3v3 or a 2v2 or once he hits level 6. Like, all those things, if he can hit level 6 first, it's not awful. It's still not your favorite matchup in the world. But when Xin starts getting kills, he also is a champion that can snowball, and he's a champion that can run the map really, really well. So I do think The question isn't who the kill's better on, it's who can do more as this game advances. And right now, if a second kill goes to Lock here, we're going to get an easy answer to it. Fun Phoenix and Trundle both there on top. The pillars there. Pumpkin going to be 2-0.
Yeah, all of these early kills going over to Pumpkin, so huge here. Especially with that Dark Seal, right? Like, all this AP is just going to continue to stack onto Pumpkin, going to be able to push out this wave, and with that back, almost certainly will be able to afford a tier 1 boot, which means that you're going to be able to dodge a lot of these Cassiopeia skill shots, and more importantly, you're going to be able to start being unlocked from the lane. You're going to be able to start roaming, and you're going to be able to start doing so much more with this disgustingly strong champion.
Meanwhile, I think one of the biggest differences this game right now. Oh, wait. Pumpkin gonna go in. That's gonna be the purgatory. Can Chef help change the tides? Idaconic's gonna be here to finish the job. Anthony picks up the kill. Should make that lane a little bit easier. Meanwhile, on the top side, it's Fireflans on the downside here on the Yorick. That is not good for Akuma.
Yeah, that is definitely not the greatest for Akuma here. Fireflans going down early into the Ornn. Remember, Fireflans had that counter pick here, and Fireflan is the one who's going to be going down. In the meantime, Itaconic able to just pick up that top scuttle, pick up as much gold as possible. Is going to be the more, the recalls coming in from the side of Akuma Spikers here, so a lot more has to be dropped for them. But in the meantime, bot lane just looking very, very stable for both of these teams. Is another Cull buy for Fluke, which honestly, I like the Cull buy a lot, right? Cull is one of those items where if you can feasibly get it without losing out on the ability to pick up some of these minions, you're doing fine, right? There's some trading going on through, but in the end, Fluke and Chief already looking for a reset.
The thing that confuses me about this Caitlyn Seraphine lane is you would expect them to be pushing. You would expect them to be winning these trades. I think the call buy is a little grief because I think they would benefit from the extra damage. If you're going even as Caitlyn, you're not winning. And this is a jinx. This is a hyper carry. We're already at 68 CS, and Caitlyn hasn't taken a single plate. Caitlyn hasn't touched their turret. I don't like that at all. If I'm Fluke, you gotta be pushing the tempo in that lane. You have the junglers pathing to you. You need to be making something happen. And right now, Lulu is going to be on another great rotate onto Anthony. Purgatory going to go off. Zin going to be there a little late. Fun Phoenix is going to go down. Anthony able to trade out, and it just looks like that play does come up. Akuma.
Yeah, I mean, Pumpkin did have a wonderful dodge on that Petrifying Gaze, but in the end, it kind of comes in at just the right moment. Not important coming on in here.
Oh, that's going to be a big pillar, and Itaconic's got nowhere to go. No flash available for him. Immediately annihilated. Now that lock is blazing 4-2-0.
Yeah, Ignite going to be going down, but this lock is playing extremely hot, and 4 stacks on a Dark Seal is definitely where you want to be, right? We've talked about the snowball so many times. We talked about how important, how strong this champion can be. Now, as the lock gets access to more of this gold, more of these items, how much are we actually going to be able to see this come on through? Rainy, on the other hand, getting some respite from the last game, right? Last game, it was Bruiser v Bruiser. It was just a lot of damage coming in from Fireflans that was literally impossible to return on because Garen literally just turns off your abilities, right? Just silences you. You sit there and it's like, well, I can't dodge this, right? I can't walk away from him because he's faster than me. So what do? You die, I guess. In the meantime, Yorick, one of those champions with a decent bit more as far as the counterplay goes. If you are playing this Ornn...
Oh, Call of the Forge God going to go through onto Fireflans. Blush is on the rotate here. They've left Caitlyn to farm the turret for free. If they don't get the kill, it's awful. Meanwhile, off screen here, we are going to see Cassiopeia fall. Jinx doesn't get anything for that. That's so bad for Akuma.
I mean, it's good for the side of TMG Flash here. They don't quite get much off of it. Big fight in the mid lane.
Oh, God. Pumpkin, is he able to get Chef? He is. That's another kill. Survives because of the gray health. No, never mind. Thank God. Thank God, I hate gray health. I hate gray health. Needs to be removed from the game on every champion, including Tom Kench.
Well, you see, the thing is, if you wait long enough, it gets removed.
Yeah, 200 years of game
And turned
design,
into green
gray
health.
health is a good idea. Like, I don't know.
Hey, don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say that.
I don't know. That's a choice. Anthony might be on the edge here. The pillar in probably the best spot you could find it. It is the zap coming through, not going to land, but the polymorph definitely will. Their subjugate goes through, and Blush uses that super mega death rocket to make sure they can steal their kill from not important.
Yeah, and one thing that I also have to just give a huge shout out to for TMG Flash is the willingness to go for some of these lane swaps, right? A lot of the time, these role quests are heavily prioritized for these teams, and it's been extremely over prioritized for a long time. So the higher up you go, you realize, hey, we can actually do a lot more with these rotations. You don't have to simply go for nothing but the role quests each and every time. So, moving people around, getting stuff done on the map, all three of those grubbies going to the side of TMG Flash. And now with every single objective under their belt, Akuma Spikers are going to be falling on the back foot to TMG Flash's damage output.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
That is going to be an ace of the hole. And Iconic is going to be there, but it's a little bit too late because Fun Phoenix is able to match him. That lock is the world right now for True Minded Gaming Flash. I mean, the Jinx is also going to start coming online in probably 10 minutes. They're in a good spot to keep doing that, but right now, Locke is the early game. Locke, his job is just to keep the game alive until Jinx is ready to play.
I mean, Blush has been getting quite a bit of gold just put directly into his pocket, right? But in the meantime, right, Storm Surge, Lock, 3 stacks on a Dark Seal, 69 CS at 11 minutes. Isn't exactly where you want your mid laner to be, but at the very least, that gold is going on to this champion somehow or another.
Yeah, that's a good point to make. Lock is down. What, about a kill in CS? Maybe 2 kills? It does definitely have the gold advantage, but that's why we don't... Oh my God. Triple encore! That's the Crescent Guard! Knocks Pumpkin under the turret, but Pumpkin able to dash out because 200 years of game design. Meanwhile, Rainy inside that Wild Grove. That didn't play that spectacularly, and it just still didn't go into their favor. Yorick is going to be able to get some solo plates here. The rotate so strong coming out of True Minded Gaming Flash, but at the end of the day, it is a winning play for Akuma.
It is a winning play for Akuma despite that kill trade, but as we can see, let's take a look at this one more time. Rainy goes in with that Call of the Forge God. That encore was beautiful, tagged up 3, but the Crescent Guard just barely going to be pushing Pumpkin in the wrong direction. So once again, Fluke goes down, but to the unwilling arms of Pumpkin.
Speaking of unwilling, Fireflance completely caught out here. Does have the flash, but I don't even think he's going to waste it. No, he does waste it.
Oh.
I mean, you're not outrunning a Trundle. It's just not happening. Unfortunately,
yeah, at the very least,
further back in lane.
At the very least, it is going to be flash for flash. So Fireflans now with the teleport available, also going to be able to threaten so much on these side lanes. Fully completed Black Cleaver. This is huge as far as that matchup is concerned, especially as Rainy is continuing to build up towards that fully completed Thornmail. In the meantime,
I hate that. I don't know. I
think Thornmail's great here.
Do you? Do you think fully completing it is worth it?
I mean, what else are you gonna buy? A Bombi Cinder item? Those things are just disgustingly bad right now.
I'm a big fan of just sitting on the Bramble, to be honest. I don't think the damage from Thornmail is that good. And I guess what?
So what I will say about it, what I will say about it is that Ornn in particular actually pretty much likes that one just because of the upgraded ornaments. But in the meantime, Fluke just gonna 90 caliber net away from that pillar. You're doing fine. Yeah, so you can sit on the Bramble Vest. You can go for the fully completed Thornmail. It's just a matter of what it is that you are valuing. And we are seeing the pivot from Rainy. It is not going to be the Thornmail. It is going to be the Unending Despair, which I think is definitely a much better choice, right? I think this is the best possible choice for Ornn in terms of being able to get for a first ornament. The only other things that you could really make a argument for gold efficiency wise being better would be things like Frozen Heart, but you don't really want that this game. Instead, you want this fight to start up for the side of TMG Flash.
Yeah, TMG is trying to take the dragon. They currently have that Trundle sitting on it, waiting to take it. It doesn't look like Caitlyn or Seraphine are going to be walking into this. It looks like both teams just going to push out the lanes and go from there. Fireflans right now was able to get out from that big roam we've seen on that replay. Fireflans the entire time was upstairs taking 4 plates on that turret, which is why he was able to get back to Cleaver. Has that first turret destroyed already, and this is where I expect to see Fireflans start doing something with the game. We check the gold numbers. Fireflans is 600 gold ahead right now of the Ornn because of all of those plates coming through. And now I expect to see Akuma coming up here a lot more with the Caitlyn and Seraphine rotated to help the job come through. Pumpkin going to be on top of Anthony. Meanwhile, in the top side jungle, Fun Phoenix should be caught. It's an ace in the hole. Rainy not able to block it, but it should still be enough. Wait! There's the audacious charge forward. Crescent Guard going to finish Fun Phoenix. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Pumpkin not able to finish the job on Anthony. They do burn the flash, but that's as far as they're able to get.
And TMG Flash, they're looking to try to keep things slow, right? Try to slowly get to the point where you have the opportunity to be fully scaled up, play these fights. But in the end, it's so much damage coming through.
The Encore, and Akuma fluke finds the trap, and that is why you lock in Caitlyn. The single target damage is insane sometimes, especially paired with someone like Seraphine.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the roots, you've got the Encore, you've got the traps, you've got the damage, you've got the kill. Blush doesn't even opt to go for a flash or a barrier, because if you do use either of those things, you're just gonna get hit by an ace in the hole. And in the end, it's looking more and more bleak for the side of TMG Flash, despite being up 4 kills.
Yeah, you can be up kills all you want, but one of the biggest things in this game is that static gold. The higher you go, the more you see something like a kill traded for static gold. Oh, wait, Anthony going to be completely dove under turret. Pumpkin annihilates him. It's another kill over. I mean, Anthony's barely able to play the game. I'm actually curious. Anthony is sitting on 5,900 gold compared to Locke's 8,000. Locke is the only person on that team with a gold advantage, though.
Yes, the only person on the side of TMG Flash with a gold advantage. But as we get to the later stage of the game, Rainy on the Ornn with the increased, experience gain from that top lane role is going to be able to start closing that gold gap effectiveness, right? Each of these items is essentially each of these masterwork items is essentially 1,000 extra gold. And
wow,
oh Lord.
Pumpkin
we can talk stats all we want.
Purgatory, good night. Iconic is going to be on top of him doing a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough. Crescent Guard forced to be used. Fireflans now might be caught from not important. First time we're seeing him show up to a team fight. That is going to be the Petrifying Gaze right on top of the Ornn before the knockup land. Unstoppable going to go forward. That is the Brittle. Not important, doesn't have a lot of health. However, Encore still available. That could turn Locke able to back just out of the way. It does look like it's going to be a 1-0.
I mean, we can talk stats all we want, but big fights always manage to get the blood pumping, right? And Akuma, once again, they have the full control over these fights. They have the big Herald straight down this mid lane. They have so many ways how to deny, and all of a sudden, the Encore comes through.
The Encore. We do see as Itaconic is a bit on the run back. Good night to Itaconic. Is going to go in and try to buy his team a little bit more time. The question is, can they get away? The answer does look to be yes.
Yeah, and Blush getting excited on that Jinx, able to output so much damage here. Isn't even finished with that second item, but Pumpkin just once again, the terrifying Lock. Always walking up, always dashing in, always threatening every member of Akuma. Doesn't matter if you're tanky, doesn't matter if you're squishy, you are all squishy in the eyes of Locke.
They have the full control Locke, over these fights. The greatest assassin in 200 years of League of Legends. We look at it again, and it's just, they're a bit overzealous. The Encore goes through, but Yorick is so far caught out of position. I mean, if you're locking Yorick, I'm surprised to see him traveling to so many of these team fights and staying there for so long. Is going to go in and try to buy his team.
Yeah, but once again, here comes Pumpkin.
What do you even say? What do you even say?
So, all I gotta say is Pumpkin has not gotten hit by a petrifying gaze once. Like, this man is actually so good at dodging these petrifying gazes. Like, the lock pick, obviously, a very good pick, but give your flowers where they're due. Has been playing very well as far as the 1v1s go. It is going to be that Storm Surge and the Shadow Flame. Usually you see one or the other as far as the tempo items go, but both of them together means that this champion is going to be doing exceedingly high amounts of damage. Lichbane not anywhere close to completion.
No, Lichbane is not anywhere close to completion, and I think I'm with Chad on this one. Lock, I mean, this is Lock against the world, and unfortunately that's a champion that gets to be against the world. I mean, Cassiopeia probably is doing what? The damage of a caster minion? Oh, hi, Fireflans. Pumpkin is going to annihilate you. It doesn't matter if you flash, he's faster than you. He's faster than you, he's stronger than you, he'll one-shot you, and it doesn't matter that you're a tank. He is the assassin of all assassins. Really, at this point, the question is, do you have an answer for Lock before he can get your Jinx excited? And I think, unfortunately, unless you're landing a crazy Petrifying Gaze, which we're yet to see, or a crazy Encore, it's doomed.
It might be a little bit doomed here. Pumpkin.
God. Yep, did you see? By the way, Xin Zhao had 2/3 of his health bar left there. He had 2/3 of his health bar left. He had 75% HP.
This is what happens when this is what happens when the enemy Lock has 12 kills and you're not building any magic resist whatsoever. So this champion gets to eat straight through health bars regardless of what these players have been picking. Because, I mean, we haven't really seen an attempt at mitigating the damage he does yet. But in the meantime, Rainy and Firefly just kind of going toe-to-toe. I don't really think much is going to come from it. Pumpkin and Blush, on the other hand. Woo.
Dare I say this game's already done? Is that too overzealous? I mean, I think
it's a little bit overzealous because when you get this far ahead on a champion, there's absolutely a chance to just fully overstep and just, throw away your team's entire gold lead. I mean, that is 12 kills on the Lock. You take that Lock away, that's 5 to 6.
Yeah, man, it's just so like, he's gonna win the 2v1. I'm caught. Wait, maybe not. Wait,
is he?
Itaconic does it! The shutdown is in, chat! Go wild!
All right, 18-7, but without the Lock on stage, that is going to be 5-7. Akuma Spikers have the opportunity to play the game for just a little bit. Now, are you going to be able to force a team fight while the Lock is down? Remember, there is no teleport available on this Lock here. So if you do split yourself across the map, it's a question as to who he chooses to fight. But in the meantime, Blush has been very slowly, very quietly getting to a point where, he can start carrying some of these fights. Itaconic in the front.
Oh my god, Fireflans annihilated immediately. Encore gonna come through, but so is the call. The Forge God, it does find the knockup on Seraphine. Meanwhile, Anthony gonna be zapped on the side. Itaconic trying to find his angle, but unfortunately not important. Is going to make sure they're doing no damage. There's the pillar. Good night to Itaconic. The rest of his team might leave, but Blush is gonna try. Those high notes should be able to end that engagement, but god, it's huge once again for True Minded Gaming Flash.
Yeah, True Minded Gaming Flash didn't even need the Lock for that one, but going to be able to pick up even more with it. And once again, the kills just keep on piling up. The towers continue to fall. The Jinx continues to be excited. Pumpkin dashes on out, but this tower goes down and the inhib almost certain to follow.
Yeah, there's not a lot left in the tank, it looks like here, as they do find one. However, Fireflans is going to pay for his sins. There's going to be Anthony ready to fall next. Xin comes up. He gets the shutdown on a Lock, and Xin find the angle. He goes in a little too overzealous there. The Crescent Guard is not going to save him. Fluke and Chief should be able to keep the game alive, you'd think. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to go for the end there. It is. Wow. Yikes.
Yikes is definitely one way to put it, right? You have all of this single target damage coming in from Pumpkin, but Blush is just able to get these hits off again and again and again, standing in that back line. There goes one. The excited Jinx gets stunned up for just a little bit, but gets excited once again, and they beautifully kite it out. Itaconic just not able to survive against either of these champions. And 7 kills on the Jinx. That's a fully completed death cap for Locke as well. And the ornaments are still yet to come down onto him.
Yeah, well, he has the ornament on Shadowflame.
Oh, does he? Ah, okay. Well, we didn't wait.
I think he was the first to get ornament after Ornn. But it is awful.
Which honestly is fine.
Between the death cap and the Shadowflame being orange and red. Color gap. For real. Fireflans might have actually stopped Pumpkin, though, here. They did drop the Purgatory. That should give them a little bit of time to take a fight. The problem is if you lose this fight, I'm confident you lose the game. Jinx has scaled. Locke still does Locke things. And if you lose this dragon, it's Cloud Soul.
Yeah, but here it comes.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Rainy taking so much damage early on. However, Fireflans is caught on the side. We lock in Yorick, and it keeps coming to team fights.
Yeah, it just takes one kill to turn things around. Rainy standing on that front line, making sure that nobody can get to his backside. But we can see in the mid lane, Blush and Pumpkin just walking up front, lock in the back pocket of the Jinx. You got to be so careful.
Can they find their angle here? All they need to do is find one more kill, and that should be the game for them. There's the engage going forward with the pillar. However, they're not able to find their way to walk in just yet.
Yeah, the wave just fully pushed into that mid lane. The Dragon Soul almost certainly going to be going down to the side of TMG Flash here. If you contest as Akuma Spikers, you just literally give up the game. And I mean, they are not going to be going quietly into the night here, but with this Cloud Soul, all 5 of these champions are going to be even more terrifying in these team fights. A single ult can mean that these champions go at 50 billion miles an hour. And in the end, Pumpkin, with 15 kills on the lock, is inching closer and closer to being able to demolish any member of the side of Akuma Spikers. Still, the only magic resist item we're seeing is a single Hex Drinker.
Yeah, no magic resist, and now Locke has Cloud Soul. Locke gets 60% bonus movement speed the moment he uses Purgatory. Jinx gets 60% bonus movement speed the moment she uses Super Mega Death Rocket. Trundle gets 60% bonus movement speed every time he uses Subjugate. You don't really get to live anymore. If somebody clicks ult on you, you're dead. If Jinx gets excited, you're dead. There's no running away. There's no flashing away. You're getting ran down. And right now, speaking of getting ran down, that entire top side is getting destroyed. You imagine the answer here is take as much top. The moment they come to contest, we turn our attention to Baron. We take Baron, we end the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's Baron, and ending the game is definitely one way to do it, but you could just go all the way down this one. In the meantime, Fireflans now looking to separate out the team, now looking to get that split pushing going. This is why you pick the Yorick, so the fact that we're seeing it 30 minutes into the game is concerning to say the least. But it's working, right?
If we did this for the last 3 30-minute team fights, you'd be in their base with 2 inhibs. But no, we picked Yorick and we team fight. Why didn't we pick the Mordekaiser then? And now Fireflans is dead. Oh my god.
Yeah, Fireflans is dead, but that was the 1 and 6 Yorick. So now going to be 1 and 7. The Encore goes wide.
Encore does go wide. Baron is picked up. Can they finish the job? Itaconic is going to be stunned up here for days. Does pop the Crescent Guard, but guess what? Guess what? There is the movement speed. Guardian Angel will stop the getting excited for a couple seconds until his team get away. However, what are these 3 to do? I mean, Cassiopeia still does no damage. They're just going to jump right on top of her. Go ahead, Pumpkin. Just do what Pumpkin does. Thank you. Thank you, Lock Crutch Champion. Oh, my God. I hate casting Lock games. I hate it. I actually hate it. Every week, Every week, either here or at NA Rise, I'm casting a lock game, and every week I want to blow up. Oh my god. Look at, like, what is there to say? What is there to say? We locked in lock, we won the game. Congratulations. You did it. You sold your soul to play lock. You're officially the villains. Like, literally, and chat has the right idea here. If you read chat at all in this game, we pulled some of it up on stream. You lock and no one's happy with you. You sell. It's like playing a ranged top laner. You sell your soul. You sell your soul when you play that champ. Congrats. Pumpkin gets MVP because he plays the most broken champion in 200 years of game design. The worst part is, he's a broken champion in solo queue who the higher elo you go, the more broken he gets. Because people understand, oh, it doesn't matter what the rest of my team does. We feed the lock and we win the game. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
I got nothing to say.
I hate that champion. We're going to go to intermission.
They're blue side.
We'll be back
Blue
for a game that
side,
doesn't include
first
lock.
pick. Just take it. Don't go anywhere.
like crazy, oh, crazy, oh, crazy, crazy, oh, crazy, oh, crazy, 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 like crazy, like crazy,
Hello, grandpas and grandmas on the riff. We're changing it every time.
Grandpas and grandmas?
I don't know. We had lads and chads, ladies and gents. Grandpas and grandmas seem like the logical next step. I mean, let's face it. Half this chat has been playing since season 3. They're unks. They're unks. As somebody playing since COVID, I can say that.
I mean, League Classic came out, so everyone can be spiritually unked now.
Yeah, now everyone can be Zillion. For real. Zillion finally has a purpose. Can you imagine waiting all of League to finally have a purpose? And now you get it?
You say this as if Zillion's not one of the most broken champions in the game.
Who plays Zillion? When's the last time you've seen Zillion locked in?
That's the only reason he's allowed to stay being broken.
Who bans him?
That champion's disgusting.
Who bans him?
That's why he's allowed to stay the way he is.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying he's broken. If anybody played him, if anybody at all played him, hi Loki.
Literally, like just toss a Zillion Volibear into a game, and like that's a disgusting combo. Anyway,
draft underway.
All things aside, we've got a draft on our hands here. Now, TMG Flash, blue side, once again, what do you have? You don't have Lock.
That might get swapped.
Is the Ambessa.
I'm actually
This is the Ambessa.
Not positive it's them on blue side yet.
Okay. But either way, it is going to be blue side first pick Ambessa. So this Ambessa can go into the top lane, can go into the jungle. That's one of the reasons why we see these champions being picked up early on. I am very surprised that it is not the Nocturne, because Nocturne is a disgustingly good champion that does so much for the power of your entire team. You never have to go in when you hit Paranoia. Turning off the lights alone is such a big deal. In the meantime, Senna going to be picked up for blue side, and also the Ziggs on the red side. So we're gonna have lights turned off, bombs going in from everywhere. What do? You have a Senna Kench to make sure that Ziggs doesn't get a chance to play the game, and more importantly, you have a Senna to keep your team alive for as long as possible. So if you're taking all these bombs, but you got the shields and heals to make sure that none of these bombs actually stick, then at the very least, you got that going for you. Pyke's an interesting choice.
Pyke is interesting.
I think I would have preferred a Blitzcrank, because at the very least you have the ability to just delete all of the shields if Tahm Kench does hit the E. But at the very least, Pyke can get in, get out, and more importantly, roam across the map. If you're dealing with a Senna Kench, you want to make sure that you have a champion that can roam across the map and make like a living hell for that Kench, so that way the Kench is forced to leave and Senna doesn't get access to as many of those souls as she usually does.
I do wonder how much roaming we're going to be able to see this game out of Sheep, just on the senses that, like, if you're going to lock in the Pyke with the Ziggs, I'm assuming your goal is to wave clear on Ziggs and then run the game as the Pyke. Like, I'm imagining we're seeing 100 ganks mid, depending on what their mid laner is.
Yeah, I mean, 100 ganks mid is definitely one way to put it. I don't think we're going to be getting so many ganks until level 6 for both of these junglers, with the Skarner going to be picked up here. I mean, still could technically be at Skarner top, could be Ambessa mid if you want to go like really crazy with it. Oh. It's
a little bit spicy.
It certainly might be.
Aurora.
Okay, so we got
answer. Whoa,
that doesn't seem
that is
right.
not correct. That is not correct. They bait and swapped me.
Okay.
They bait and swapped me. We'll go ahead and bring up the correct order here. That is what it's supposed to be.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, Sivir in the mid lane would be a choice of all time, and like I can see the angle, but I don't really know if I like it.
It was a big bait and switch. It was a big bait and switch. They had to swap that around on the drafter, it looks like. But now we're in game. Now we are in game indeed. It is that Aurora. How do we feel about the Aurora Highway matchup?
Honestly, like I think Aurora's fine. Like nothing too crazy here. At the very least, what Aurora's allowed to do is she's allowed to do the same thing that Ziggs does. Is you hit your buttons and you create lines that people are not allowed to cross. Right? You hit your ultimate, and all of a sudden, when it is when Paranoia is active, you got a lot more things to be worried about. In the meantime, Fun Phoenix going to be a little bit late to the lane, but not going to be missing out on any of this experience. Anthony, on that way, does have the Storm Raiders, which is a little bit interesting here. You know, usually you would anticipate the, Airy or the Comet coming in from Hui, but in the end, survivability is a pretty big deal.
Fun Phoenix dropping the 3-1 prediction on this series. Do we think that is cocky or do we think that is accurate?
I think that it's going to be a 3-1 in a direction. I mean, both of these teams just have so much going for them. In the meantime, nice hook coming in from Fun Phoenix. A little bit lackluster of a trade, though, because once again, in the Senna-Kench, that 2v2 is nigh uncontestable.
Yeah, I think Senna-Kench, they're just going to play their game. They're just going to farm. They're going to get the stacks. I'm curious, once Fun Phoenix hits level 3, how much roaming we are going to see. Nocturne is already on the side. His top side was destroyed. There's going to be Fluke getting completely annihilated on that Fleet's first blood going over to Fun Phoenix. That was fast.
Yeah, and that was very fast. And also one thing to note here is that Fun Phoenix on that Pike getting that early kill. Usually you don't really like supports getting those early kills. Pumpkin flashes forward.
Oh, Itagonic.
Beard up.
Ready to grab. I mean, Pumpkin is dead. It is going to be 2 early jungle kills. Meanwhile, Chief a little bit too far up here. Not going to be able to get back to his turret very easily, and he'll be the next one to go down. There are kills all across the board despite having some scaling comps on this Rift.
Yeah, and Blush has been playing extremely well this entire series, but this is the first time that we are seeing TMG Flash commit some early play towards that bot side. So now we get to see this team truly come to fruition. But in the meantime, what is it that we are going to be seeing as a response from Akuma Spikers? This wave is going to get pushed all the way in, and nothing crazy. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. The hook goes wide. Fun Phoenix is just going to be leaving on out. Semifinals still looking like XSV Neon is definitely the team to beat here. Fireflans just getting those trades going. I don't hate the Ambessa pick, but I do think that that first pick Ambessa might be a little bit of tilt speaking, right? First pick Ambessa is one of those things where you can flex it to the jungle, but usually you want to be doing something like a Zehen to flex into the jungle. Zehen was banned away, but at the very least, the point that I'm making here is Fireflies did not have a great previous game, right? No. It was not phenomenal. It was not really what Fireflies fans want to be seeing. But what they do have going for them is Fireflies on a strong bruiser, not going to be necessarily strong-sided just yet because we have seen a very, very little jungle interaction for either of these side lanes for the side of Akuma Spikers.
See, I just assumed it was like a good flex, but I do think it's something Fireflies probably wanted to play when it was locked in. Just on the sense that, like, I mean, you had the counter pick option into side and we still went Ambessa. And I think... honestly, like, we're chill with that.
Ambassador's fine there.
Oh, I do too. I think it's an even as to taking the counter pick. You lock in the Skarner. I think Skarner obviously does a lot for this team. The one thing with Akuma this game is you're hoping for a long game. Like, if it stays 2-1 for the next 30 minutes, you're celebrating.
Oh, yeah. I mean... that's definitely one way to put it, though, because, like, if you do get to the later stages of the game, that's when Paranoia gets more and more terrifying. If you do manage to get that Ziggs ultimate, that's Aurora ultimate just across the team while the lights are off, good luck getting away from both of those as far as the damage output goes. And in the meantime, Pyke is always going to give you some trouble.
I got a question for you when we're talking about the Paranoia. I agree with you, Paranoia is a great ability, especially as you get later into the game. However, when you look at the comp of Akuma, what does Paranoia do besides get on the way? And what does Paranoia do late game? Because you have Tom Kench Skarner.
I mean, the answer that I'll say to that is the same answer that I've always said to Paranoia. which is you don't have to go in, right? You just turn the lights off. Turning the lights off is so disgustingly broken, and especially when you have a Ziggs. The biggest problem that this team has is the lack of physical damage, but at the very least with the Ziggs, if you get to the late game, it doesn't matter how far behind you are as long as your Ziggs has some gold. You win one team fight, you win the game. Ziggs will demolish towers so unbelievably fast. We've seen champions like Caitlyn be complete fountain lasers. Ziggs is a laser to towers.
Ziggs is indeed a laser to towers, and I think if you are able to get ahead early, you're going to be able to make a lot happen, especially with that Ziggs. And like you were saying, the later we go into this game, the easier it is to take towers, the more Ziggs can do. I just think Senna Hui, they have such good wave clear. They have 2 tanks standing in front of them, and I think that's going to make this very difficult to play. Of course, somebody like Aurora can put a big dent into that with something like the Between Worlds. It's just I don't think Aurora is going to have the easiest landing phase.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, with this kind of a team composition, Fireflies is going to get a lot of value out of a not a Mortal Reminder, a Ma Malmortius. So, there's something going for him over here. In the meantime, I'm just going to be building up to that Eclipse, try to find ways how to punch some holes into this Scion, but I mean, Ambessa might be one of the better champions at dealing with this tank, but dealing with Scion and making sure he can't stack are 2 completely different situations.
Yeah, and you would imagine the stacks on this Scion as we get later into the game are going to be monumental. Mountain Drake is going to be picked up. It's the first one, of course, going to go over to the side of TMG Flash. The Drake stacking is beginning, and that's something you really want to see from their team. It's going to be that 5% bonus armor and magic resist. And you imagine early in this game, we should be seeing a lot of stacking. The first 2 to 3 Drakes should be in TMG's pockets.
Yeah, I mean, TMG Flash getting that early Mountain Drag is very, very high value, especially on the team with the solo tank, right? So we're just going to have to see whether or not they have the opportunity to get this tank out of lane and into a team fight. In the meantime, just going to be
Spiraling is fair, going to do a lot of damage. Every ability going to land. Pumpkin able to get out of there, but is going to be forced to leave the lane. There's a bit of a rotation coming, though. Pyke in the top side helping Nocturne claim the enemy Gromp and the enemy blue buff, and it should also be some beautiful grubs as well as the rotate of the Ziggs in the top lane. Scion going to be back and going to bot to stop too much farm from going away. We do see Senna getting a lot for this. You don't get a kill, though. You get a lot regardless, right? You do get the grubs. We didn't see the blue buff finished being taken, which I'm a little surprised by.
Rainy, I swear to God.
You know what,
This is the 5th time.
I do want your opinion on something real quick. There's a big debate in the League community about are grubs an objective worth rotating for? Are grubs even an objective worth throwing something like jungle tempo for? What are you?
I think it depends.
Paranoia going to come through real quick before you get to answer that. There's going to be the pull from Pyke, and Hui is going to be annihilated as not important, able to find a beautiful Paranoia to claim the kill. But back to you. What's our opinion on grubs?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to depend, right? If you can get those early kills, you can get that early gold under your belt. This is going to be very, very good here. But the more important thing is, how is your team's tower taking? And how is the enemy team's tower taking? If one team has particularly good or...
Iconic is just kidnapped Bloosh. Bloosh, completely kidnapped, completely rooted, completely annihilated, and they hand Senna over the kill. Beautiful work from Akuma.
Oh, Lord. I mean, you see that satchel charge go down, and all of a sudden you say, yay, Ziggs is able to get home free. Nothing too crazy. Like, everything works out fine. And all of a sudden, there's the loving arms of a Skarner in your face here. This ain't League Classic. That Skarner is going to be driving you right back into that lane and right into the pocket of the waiting Senna. Now, as I've been trying to say before I've been so rudely interrupted multiple times, it depends, right? If your team is, if one of the teams is particularly good at tower taking, grub value goes up. If one of the teams is particularly bad at tower taking, grub value goes up, right? And it's a matter of denying it from the team that's bad at tower taking and adding to the team that is very good at tower taking. Now, a team like TMG Flash, they have the Ziggs, so they have pretty dang decent tower taking. But more importantly, for the side of Akuma, you don't really have any champion on this team that's particularly strong when it comes to taking towers.
Oh, between
we
worlds,
see the 1v1 going over here.
Dawning Shadow comes through. Not going to be enough damage to finish the job.
Yeah, Dawning Shadow makes it basically an impossibility in that 1v1. But yeah, as I was mentioning, with that sort of dichotomy, it means that the rotation to the grubs is actually very high value. So I very much enjoy the way how TMG Flash is willing to rotate it. At the very least, it's going to be able to nab you a couple of extra plates, a couple of extra gold. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, but the satchel charge coming on through. This is a big 2v2 fight.
Fluke. A lot of damage, but that's going to be the mega bomb going. Fun Phoenix is going to be annihilated. Meanwhile, Nocturne decides to go to the mid lane, not to that bot fight. Pumpkin able to find the kill on Anthony. It's a 1-for-1 across the rift.
Yeah, and as we said before, Romeo, that 2v2 is nigh uncontestable in that bot lane. The moment the paranoia comes through, if you are the side of Akuma Spikers, you think to yourself, oh no, this could be it. This could be the moment. And the moment that not important shows up in that mid lane instead of the bot lane, you breathe a sigh of relief and you say, yeah, we're just going to continue to win this 2v2. There's very, very little that you can do against the Senekench without any jungle involvement. In the meantime, Experimental Hexplate going to be finished by not important. So it is going to be even more of this paranoia coming in again and again and again.
Yeah, paranoia is going. It's been finding it. It's been doing exactly what it needs to do. Every time it has come up, it has found a target, and that's what you want. Fun Phoenix. Well, that was a choice. That was the wrong choice. It was a choice, but it was not correct. I don't. To quote my acting professor, you made a choice, and I hated it.
Yeah, in the meantime, not important, kind of hating his own life right here. You're going to be stunned up, but Blast Cone going to be building a little bit of time.
He's not going to get away at all. He's going to get annihilated here. Itakana going to find the kill as well on top of the Fun Phoenix kill. Pumpkin, though, should be able to find something with this between worlds here. The twofold hex is going to land, but it's not going to do enough to make a very happy Aurora.
Yeah, in the meantime, Fireflan's just more than happy to just run down this top side. Just get that proxy going, making sure that you can stay as ahead of the Scion as physically possible. That is a huge CS differential in that top side, almost 30 CS up. But right now, as we can see, Fireflan's not too happy about how that last game went and very much finding a way how to make use of it.
Yeah, meanwhile, Rainy trying to run him down isn't going to be able to find it. Rainy has hit 500 stacks. How are we feeling about 500 stacks already being hit on Scion?
I mean, like, that's honestly nothing too crazy, right? The 500 stacks is pretty dang solid. Fireflan's being at 10 CS a minute is a lot more concerning if you're looking at this game from an overall perspective. So right here, the question is, after this eclipse, what are we going to actually be seeing from Fireflan's for that pickup? It is looking like it's going to be the Sundered Sky. So in the end, this M-Bus is going to be a team fight menace. And we've seen that Fireflan's loves to get involved in these team fights, loves to try to make things happen. But when the lights are off, can you fight with your team?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to note. I always forget how impactful the lights being off are, and just look at that. You find it right on top of the Hui, but Hui able to pull them back. Anthony still going to take a lot of damage from Pumpkin, but same with the Spiraling Despair. It goes through. Fun Phoenix, very low in health, is going to be forced to pull out of this fight. Rainy goes down. Passive going to be procced, but it doesn't seem to do anything for him. Not important. Going to take a lot of damage. Itakana going to find another kill. Pumpkin stuck under the turret. Can they get away? Itakana gets stunned now. Chef finally going to be able to get to that turret as well. Meanwhile, Ziggs and Fluke still just chilling in that bot, and it's a huge play, however, for Akuma.
Yeah, huge play for the side of Akuma Spikers there, and Fluke able to get that Dawning Shadow off at the right time. Beautiful Abyssal Voyage coming in by Chief here, and the final flash forward for that Devour. God. Chief going to put even more gold into the pocket of his AD carry. But as we can see right here, right, the lights were turned off, but with that impale, with that turnaround, Rainy just going to get fed straight to the wolves. Everyone and their mother going in here trying to make sure that TMG Flash just do not get a chance to play the game. They had a pick, they had an opening, but unfortunately, it was on to one of the most tanky members on Akuma Spikers, Itaconic, nowhere near going down in that fight.
Yeah, no, Itaconic has been kind of slaying all three of these games. I feel like Itaconic has been such a monumental player this season for Akuma, and it's become even better in the playoffs. We've seen that Wukong game. The Skarner game is nothing to scoff at either. Just such a strong jungle at not only keeping tempo, but finding so many plays across the map. However, Not Important's been keeping up this game. That's going to be the Paranoia tower dive. Can they finish the job on Hui? They can't. He's annihilated, but there's Itaconic. The Impale's going to find them. He gets everyone under the turret. It's only going to be Pumpkin who survives.
Yeah, and Itaconic's been doing such a great job at tracking Not Important, but not only tracking Not Important, but tracking where Not Important wants to be. As a jungler, all you're looking for each and every time is a way to make the enemy jungler's life a living hell, and Itaconic is putting on a masterclass right now.
Oh, and is it going to be the dive? That's the question. It doesn't look like it. Blush should be able to be safe another day, and we'll go ahead and take another look at the play that transpired in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, let's take a look at this one. It's just going to be very, very slow. Chief just walks in, gets the Qs off onto Blush. But once again, Not Important, sussed out in that mid lane. Paranoia goes through. Anthony taking a ton of damage, but Itaconic in the right place at the right time. 2-man Impale. The tower adds a third member, and the 3v3 goes in the direction of Akuma Spikers. A very fed Skarner on their hands here. And
Chief might be caught here.
Hook.
Yeah, he just... I mean,
Big hook, but Dawning Shadow.
Tom Kenshena, broken. Tom Kenshena. I mean, they're also playing it spectacularly, right? They found that dive on Ziggs, which is not something you constantly see out of something like Ascendant. Tom Kench, but also they've really found their way to run this map. Senna is super ahead into the Ziggs, up 20 CS, has a bounty of their own, and even Mbessa right now in the top lane, they've found 2 assists. They're up 40 CS. The CS game is what's created this 4,000 gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, and also with all of this magic damage, you know, Fluke decides, yeah, you know what, I'll pick up a Hex Drinker, nothing too crazy, not going to be losing out on too much. That is 172 farm, 18 minutes in. That is almost 10 CS a minute. So this player is looking very, very fat as far as the wallet is concerned. Here comes a big fight, though.
Oh, Aurora going to try to go in. Not Important going to be able to grab the Nocturne before he's able to get a lot done off that Paranoia. Rainy is going to be caught on the side. There's going to be a Mega Death Bomb, but it doesn't do as much damage as they were hoping. Rainy is the first to go in this fight. He's going to go down really fast. That Drake's still up. It is that Inferno Drake. It could be anybody still. However, it is going to benefit Akuma right now with having that member down. Pike's still looking for any angle he can. Blush going to try to get a little bit of poke damage off, but I think it's safe to call it there. That should be the Inferno Dragon over to Akuma.
Yeah, first Infernal Dragon going to be going to Itaconic here. The smite goes through, and 2 more souls over to this Senna. So Akuma Spikers right now, a lot of the times the big concern is what happens when the lights get turned off, and the answer is not very much, right? The Ziggs doesn't do enough damage. The Aurora doesn't do enough damage, and despite the best efforts coming in from TMG Flash, despite this team composition honestly being fine,
Skarner gonna get knocked away with the satchel charge. That looked like it was gonna be a beautiful gank, but it is able to be circumvented by a nice satchel.
Oh yeah, I mean, but as mentioned, right, it's just there's just not nearly enough damage on the side of TMG Flash just yet. Not Important. Finally not going to get trapped.
Dawning Shadow keeps them alive a little bit longer, but the Decimating Smash is going to seal their fate. Fire Flans going to give that bounty over to the Nocturne. Meanwhile, they realize on the top side of the map that's where Nocturne is, so they're going to go for Blush. He's stunned on a turret, and Ziggs going to get dove once again. The TP going to come through, but it's too little too late. Ziggs going to lose even more resources. Oh, wait.
But his pumpkin
wait, between
forward.
worlds. The fear is going to be enough to keep them down. And now Itaconic is going to look for it. The smite goes through. Itaconic finds the kill.
Yeah, and the fear perfectly timed. Pumpkin not able to get that final auto off, that final bit of damage. I mean, we've seen these players just constantly look for those kills, constantly look for those opportunities, constantly look for another game, another moment. And Akuma Spikers, right now, this moment is theirs. That is going to be the Spear of Shojin completed for Fireflies in that top lane. This Mbessa is going to be a menace to deal with in that side lane. 50 stacks on the Senna, relatively low as far as Senna goes, but at the very least, you're going to be able to get those stacks up later. All the gold under your pocket right now is where it is at. That Hex Optics getting closer and closer to completion for the side of Akuma.
Yeah, and now, I mean, the real question right now, you might be 13-6. You are 7,000 gold up. You have a Senna. You have a Hui. What does True Minded Gaming need to do to get back into this game? What do they need to do to turn into the 3-1 that Fun Phoenix predicted for themselves?
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to find a way how to get back into this game, they need to group up. They need to get these picks, but they need to find a way how to do it without getting picked in return. That's the thing. They're death bushing. They're death balling. They're doing everything right. But what they're also doing is they're getting caught by things like the Dawning Shadow. They're getting
There's
caught
going to be the
by
paranoia.
things like
Mega Death Bomb going to miss. They do get the first turret, but here comes Tom Kent to keep Fluke alive. And now the tower shots are going to go through. Good. Knight to Not Important, who's not going to be able to make it out alive. They do miss the Pumpkin. Pumpkin is able to get out alive, Way not able to finish the job on them. Fun Phoenix is able to dash out as well, just barely, but Blush is going to have to pay for their sins. The Impale, the Kidnap, and a very dead Yordle.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what I was saying, right? They're death balling, they're doing what it is they have to do, but they need to find a way how to do it without getting counter engaged on, right? Each and every time, Itakon is in the right spot. Each and every time, Dawning Shadow just negates most of the damage that comes on through. They're not able to get any of these kills. They're not able to make any of this work. And Akuma Spikers are running away with this. That is a 5-kill Skarner with not a single death to his name.
Yeah, 5-kill Skarner looking very, very dominant. The Heartsteel stacks also trying to come through here. 98 Heartsteel stacks on it. Baron power play is going to be on. They are 8,000 gold up. They have the Baron. Can they make things happen? I'm expecting to see every T2 knocked off the map here, or at least the mid and bot one. Dragon going to be up. You'd hope it goes over to the side of Akuma when they have Baron. You'd really like to see it. It would put them on Soul Point, and I mean, more damage is never going to be something to scoff at when it's a Hui and a Senna, and they're both so strong. There are bounties across the board. One of the ways for True Minded Gaming to get back into this game is to get some of those bounties onto the Zig or the Aurora, or even the Nocturne. If you can find some of these bounties on one of these three, it's huge, but when you have a Pyke in your team, getting bounties onto a carry is not the easiest thing. Oftentimes, you'll see the Pyke take that bounty over. We do see a bit of a collapse starting to come through, though. They're none the wiser at the moment. You can see by the vision, whatever is about to happen, they do not have it scouted. Fun Phoenix finally going to be caught on a ward. Idaconic does see it. They don't know who's with them at the moment. There's going to be the lights out from behind. It's the Scion. This could be huge. They're going to not be able to find the Pyke just yet. Pyke goes down. There's going to be the Senna as well. Not Important, going to be the next to fall. And they needed to call an ambulance, but they needed to call it for True Minded. They've turned the play around. It looks so good. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be good enough. Rainy forced to flash away.
And the counter engage from Akuma Spikers, just beautifully played, just able to survive just enough. I mean, they're at the very least able to take down Akuma Fluke, but in the end, Anthony able to stay alive, Idaconic able to be in the right place at the right time. The flanks looked incredible, but without enough damage to make use of it. What are you doing except diving into your doom?
No, exactly. It's at this point, it just feels like it's a wallet gap. They're just so far behind. It was a nice look. The idea was good. It didn't seem like we were targeting the same champ. I think it's one of the things that went wrong there. It was a bit split. Also, Fun Phoenix gets caught on a ward before the charge goes in and kind of gets caught completely out. And at the end of the day, it spells disaster for them here. It's such a hard look now. It's such a hard game to be played. You are now about to be officially down that 10,000 gold gap. You're 9,000 gold, sitting on an Inferno Soul. You've lost your mid T2. There's still another 20 seconds of Baron to be played. Fun Phoenix could be caught again. Oh, God. There's going to be the paranoia, though. It does look like they should be able to find the kill on Hui. They do the shutdown going over to
They got
Aurora. That is
one.
some gold back into the pockets of True-Minded Gaming Flash.
All right, so they've got one opportunity. They got one moment where they actually managed to get that death ball going onto someone who didn't have 50 billion people just sitting around him, making sure that that dive doesn't actually do anything. So at the very least, they are not going quietly into the night. Now, Fireflans on the side here, Dawning Shadow.
Dawning Shadow
There
does
we go.
hit. It doesn't get the shield of Fireflies, but it does a bit of damage. That's going to be the public execution. Pumpkin going to lose half their health bar. Not important, has nowhere to go. It has accepted his fate already. X-Fluke going to come there a little bit late, but does find the stun. Yoink. Good night to Rainy, and that's now 2 for nothing for Akuma.
Yeah, 2 for nothing is crazy there when it looks like another one of those ins. But right now, you can see each and every one of these picks that they're going for. They look good until they don't. TMG Flash just try to capture their opportunities, try to capture their ability to get back into the game, try to capture another chance at victory, but their base falls around them. Their chances of getting to the finals fall, and one route onto Fun Phoenix means that they also lose their support.
Yeah, and now Inhib is taken. You have everything. It's official. It's the 10,000 gold cap. It is the Executioner's hammer being held up above True-Minded Gaming's head. There is so little wiggle room for them to do anything. They are basically praying for routers to turn off at this point, especially because you're playing into a Senna. This isn't like you're playing into, like, Draven or you know, like a Renekton or something that falls off. It is Senna. It is Hui. It is Skarner. It is Tom Kent. You have champions that are here forever, and the only one who's going to keep up with their scaling is that Scion. Maybe Aurora a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I was praising the ability of Ziggs to make these games really terrifying the later that they do go, because, you know, you at the very least have the ability to take down these towers super, super fast if you can get farmed up on the Ziggs. But Blush is so far away from having that sort of opportunity. The Ziggs just cannot output the damage necessary in these team fights. Still building up
Paranoia
towards
goes through.
these
it's on
fights,
the Mbessa. Mbessa finds the Aurora. They turn the Paranoia into a 1-for-1. It's still going to be a shutdown for the Nocturne, but nonetheless, it's still a 1-for-1 while your base is being sieged. The flea lands. Okay, good night. Good night. Spiraling Despair doesn't even get to go off, and Iconic says, actually, yoink, this is my kill. I deserve it. I'm the one with the perfect game. I want it. Meanwhile, Rainy, not important, and Blush are here. Blush does have some good wave clear. The Mega Death Bomb is going to go through. However, the stun does land. He's forced to satchel charge right back to his fountain. That first T1 or T Nexus turret is going to fall. Pardon. Never mind. They barely keep it alive. They barely keep it alive. It should fall any moment here, you would assume. Romeo, or they're just going to turn back to Baron.
Romeo, can you imagine how much easier these towers would fall if Akuma had all of the grubbies? Like, the fact that they're managing to do all of this without things like the grubs, without things like the Baron, is terrifying, because now the Baron's going down. Now the purple worm is going to be in the pockets of Akuma Spikers. They're going to try to turn off the lights and maybe look for a miracle play.
It's
but
the
Fun
last
Phoenix
stand.
getting chunked out.
Here we go. There's going to be the Between Worlds pop. Sign gets into the pit. It's a big decimating smash. Meanwhile, not important. Dives into the backline. Can they find the job? They do find Anthony. Anthony goes down, but Ziggs is forced to retreat already. Rainy is going to be killed in the front line. Baron is claimed by Akuma. Meanwhile, Iconic and Tom are running through. There's Blush trying to hide in that bush. Impale going to miss, but Pumpkin, I mean, I hate to say it, Pumpkin, you got nowhere to go. This isn't Halloween. You are getting carved nonetheless, as Iconic and Tom Kent run them down. Meanwhile, in the base, it is Fireflies with Baron. It is Blush and Fun Phoenix, the last two alive, but their turrets are destined to fall. You are just here as ceremonious deaths for your team. That's going to be the next Nexus turret to fall. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this win is going firmly over to Akuma Spikers. They're trying to make the last stand. They get the shutdown. It doesn't matter. Firefly just has to auto-attack it, and that's going to be all she wrote.
And Akuma Spikers fire back with a disgusting victory in game number 3 with this Senna Kench bot lane that did so much for shutting down that Nocturne, right? It was just so difficult to actually get a chance to even play the game. Every single time Nocturne turns off the lights, I was talking about how much value was in the ability to hit that paranoia, to turn off the lights, to make all of these plays work. But the Dawning Shadow comes through. Itaconic is in the right spot at the right time, each and every moment, seemingly scripted. And Itaconic was holding the script and had it memorized.
Yeah, I mean, Itaconic, banger job on that starter. Itaconic, both wins, I would say, like, obviously, game 1, we said MVP for Fireflies. This game, I would give it to Itaconic, but I do want to say, like, Itaconic, even in that game 1 as Wukong, finds the plays. He is not only such a strong tempo jungler who's able to find a lot of really, really good plays, despite that, he's so good at team fighting. I feel like that's ultimately where he shines.
Oh my
you put
God.
him on a jungler like a Skarner, like a Wukong, he runs through, and at that point, I mean, like, I'm curious to see what he brings out next. Like, we do have some really good team fighters still left in the pool. You have things like an Amumu. You have things like a Hecarim, a Rek'Sai. You have quite a few, even like a Jax could come out and see a lot done. Or maybe, I believe we've seen Itaconic on Lee Sin a couple times. I think. I could be wrong with that, but I think. So there's still a lot left in the pool for him. Anti, before we go to break, I think the one question is, what do you want to see change for True Minded Gaming Flash? They've already elected to go blue side in this next draft. What do you want to see change? Is there any picks you want to see? What do you want to see change for us to go to Silver Scrapes?
Pick some damage. Do a little bit of damage. Just a little bit of damage. Either way, all memes aside, we're going to have to see a big change from True Minded Gaming Flash if we're going to be going all the way to game number 5. But game number 4 is just around the corner, so hold on to those seats.
Back to the top 5 plays from Titan. Of course, it's playoffs. Some crews are moving to the semifinals. Some crews are moving into the quarterfinals. Some, I believe, Gladiator even is moving into their finals this week. But last week, obviously, with it being the first week or second week of playoffs for many of these teams, a lot of plays happening. So let's go ahead and see what some of the greatest plays from the Titan playoffs have been. Coming in at number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a hell of a meta we got going on, right? Like, we can all agree that the League of Legends meta right now is nuts. We got mages in the bot lane. Mordekaiser is insane, and Camille support still reigns supreme over 90% of the supports in this game. And this play truly does prove that. Camille, I was casting this game. You get a nice dragon take. You think you lose 2 for dragon. It's fine at the end of the day. You get the stats. But the other team just couldn't get out in time because Camille does Camille things. Hook shot, Hex Tech ultimatums, and all around a wonderful little quadra kill. Let's take a look. Further on this chase, yet he's still going to take a look. Lots of damage comes out from the Aurora, forces him off. It is 2 kills for Dragon here. Wait a minute. There's the re-engage. The re-engage goes forward. Twofold Hex. Never mind. It's a 2 for 1 as they overplay their hands again. There's the hook shot across the map. And now, I mean, let's face it, Corky, you are but a cannon minion here for the likes of 50 caliber triple kill. Let's make it a quadra. Why don't we? We're not going to give the Penta with Syndra on the top lane. Coming in at number 4, have you guys seen either the Magnificent Seven with like Chris Pratt and Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke, or the Seven Samurai, like the original movie that movie's based on? I like thinking of that movie because I love a good final stand. I love watching a bunch of people band together knowing they're probably going to lose and making their claim known. But you know what's even more interesting? When they don't lose, when they win. And here, that is exactly what happens. It's Theory of Everything Absolute Zero taking on the Syndicate Monarchs. And the final stand is successful. And I believe they go on to win this match later on in the game. So go ahead and take a look at the Magnificent Three.
Oh. Nice.
Wait, ow. Back, kill.
Yeah. Wait, I got this. Yeah, can look. Killed it. Fine, so bad. Yeah, I'm with you. Just care lock. I'm saving taunt for him. Just don't die. Go.
Go.
I'll get it front. You're okay. I have taunt here. Yep, nice.
Nice, very nice.
Holy.
Just gonna hook the 80 carry.
Coming in at number 3, ladies and gentlemen. I mentioned it before, let's mention it again. Mordekaiser doesn't have a losing matchup this patch besides Heimerdinger, according to U.GG and OP.GG, which is crazy. And if you're wondering, should I pick Mordekaiser? I mean, I think the patch just went live today to nerf him. Maybe not. But this is why buffing Mordekaiser is so problematic. Take a look at this. It's nuts. It's nuts. The 4v1 is wild, man. Wild. Take a look. Going to be able to proc the decimation here. That's going to be the 3 abilities, and good night to Fiora. However, the 1v3 rages on its orange juice, going to be able to get out of there. But Hatred left by himself, going to go golden. He finds the double. Is going to make it. The triple, can he make it? The quadra kill here. The pull. Everything coming up, Hatred. Coming in at number 2, also a game I got to see go down live. Resilient on the Lucian. It is an attempt to try and 3v2, but Resilient and D-Shot make their claim. Lucian and Milio proving to be a bot lane combo that's been coming back in a lot of our Titan leagues lately, and coming back to a lot of success. And this is just an insane triple kill that flips the game right on its head. And at the end of the day, it's one of the key factors in them winning this match. So go ahead and take a look.
From this. Nope. Jack is unspotted, and the aggression from Resilient here shows that they don't know the LeBlanc is waiting, calling it to put a lot of damage on the Gray. Jack gonna get locked down by the kickball, burst by Resi. It's matched there. Millie gonna pop the ultimate knockup. Resilient able to pick up 1, looking for 2, goes for it. Happy going forward for 3. It's a triple kill for Resilient.
As always, we got a lot of plays this week. Make sure you're sending them in. The less games we have, because the further we get in the playoffs, the harder these videos get to make. So please, if there is a clip that's even half decent from your match, please send them in. Let's try to get this going all the way to finals. That said, I did quite a few clips this week. We got 4 honorable mentions for you. Take a look.
I have timer. I
Super
can
loot.
Did they actually see you?
He looked.
I think so. Yeah, I'm trying.
I go sun on.
They heal.
Yeah.
Here. Got both.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
You're too good.
Yes,
You're too good. I was gonna.
Nutty.
We nearly need to play off this mid wave though. We need to play this mid wave into vision. But yeah, we're fighting.
No, we're not. We are not fighting.
I'm trying to get out.
Big R, big.
Oh, go. Holy, that's really big R.
Naked on back on means and
I'm keeping Silver back.
Me and on is on the Silver.
Wait, she just used her.
They have no Nami or Vi Flash.
Got it. Play the TP here.
He's gotta play by.
Okay.
Oh, he just
Nice.
so fucking hard.
BR. I'm just gonna wait for it.
Wall Street just Astro smoked that fight. That's crazy.
And ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 1. This play was sent to me by Amp, who in the message he sent me did tell me that he is currently retiring from comp. And I was like, okay, well, surely I need to put this somewhere in the top 5. But I did watch it and thought, damn, wait a minute, this is kind of a fire play to go out on. It's another Lucian play, but it's just really, really well played, to be honest. There's a lot of gliding, there's a lot of just dodging everything and making sure that the ADC does what the ADC needs to do. Of course, his team has a big part in that, but I think, ladies and gentlemen, with Amp retiring from comp, it would be ill-fated not to give him the number 1 spot on this list. So, ladies and gentlemen, go chase your dreams. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the top 5 plays from Titan. Of course, it's playoffs. Some crews are moving to the semifinals. Some crews are moving into the quarterfinals. Some, I believe, Gladiator even is moving into their finals this week. But last week, obviously, with it being the first week or second week of playoffs for many of these teams, a lot of plays happening. So let's go ahead and see what some of the greatest plays from the Titan playoffs have been. Coming in at number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a hell of a meta we got going on, right? Like, we can all agree that the League of Legends meta right now is nuts. We got mages in the bot lane. Mordekaiser is insane, and Camille support still reigns supreme over 90% of the supports in this game. And this play truly does prove that. Camille, I was casting this game. You get a nice dragon take. You think you lose 2 for dragon. It's fine at the end of the day. You get the stats. But the other team just couldn't get out in time because Camille does Camille things. Hook shot, Hex Tech ultimatums, and all around a wonderful little quadra kill. Let's take a look. Further on this chase, yet he's still going to take a look. Lots of damage comes out from the Aurora, forces him off. It is 2 kills for dragon here. Wait a minute. There's the re-engage. The re-engage goes forward. 2-fold Hex. Never mind. It's a 2-for-1 as they overplay their hands again. There's the hook shot across the map. And now, I mean, let's face it, Corky, you are but a cannon minion here for the likes of 50 caliber triple kill. Let's make it a quadra. Why don't we? We're not going to give the Penta with Syndra in the top lane. Coming in at number 4, have you guys seen either the Magnificent Seven with like Chris Pratt and Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke, or the Seven Samurai, like the original movie that movie's based on? I like thinking of that movie because I love a good final stand. I love watching a bunch of people band together, knowing they're probably going to lose and making their claim known. But you know what's even more interesting? When they don't lose, when they win. And here, that is exactly what happens. It's Theory of Everything Absolute Zero taking on the Syndicate Monarchs. And the final stand is successful. And I believe they go on to win this match later on in the game. So go ahead and take a look at the Magnificent 3.
Ult too.
Oh!
Nice.
Wait, ow. Back, chill.
Yeah. Wait, I got this.
Oh, that it absolutely has. There's been some really good first pick champions that we have had under our belts here. The Nocturne did not work out in that last game whatsoever for the side of True Mind Gaming Flash, which, you know, a little bit surprising. Like, Nocturne tends to be one of those champions that you do see picked up early a lot of the time because that champion just does so much in a lot of these team fights. But in the end, it is going to be True Mind Gaming Flash on the back foot, potentially not going to get anywhere close to that final moment. Did you say 36? Oh, okay. You're including the bands at the top. I thought I got so confused because I was just sitting there and was like, how are you getting an even number when each?
Hello, chat.
Never
My
mind.
mic was muted. Thank you, guys. I haven't put my mic
Romeo
on the
says that
season
you're
in the
muted.
playoff. I gotta re-welcome them back. I feel like that welcome was a banger welcome. Welcome to all my
Yeah,
Ryans and
yeah.
anyone wearing just one sock. We're back with draft 36 champions, taking away from the pools. Pantheon, Shen, and Misfortune here. Are you wearing 2 socks?
I'm wearing no sock. I'm wearing no
You're not
socks.
welcome.
But like
You're not welcome.
You don't get.
Sorry.
You don't get to see that.
don't
Like
even get- you don't even get half
I'm not
points.
letting you verify that. I'm not
You
letting you
don't-
verify that at all.
It would go right on
Anyway,
Titan's Feet Finder, by the way. I would post it personally right on Titan's Feet Finder.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
Anyway, speaking of feats, TMG Flash have to pull off an enormous feat of bringing this series back. They do have the Pantheon, they do have the Shen, so, you know, we've talked about how a lot of these pools start to really get, you know, narrowed down, and right now, TMG Flash, they are still able to pick up some of these more meta junglers, more meta options, right? The Pantheon and the Shen is honestly a really interesting one because it tells you that they're trying to pinch that jungle pool as much as physically possible, especially as you can see things like the Darius, the Zahen, the Mundo, these picks that can be flexed between top and jungle, just taken away at each and every moment. In the meantime, Anivia going to get taken up in order to deal with the preemptive Rise pick, because this Rise has not been seen whatsoever throughout the entirety of the series. That is not Skarner. You're
That is
not.
not a Skarner.
Please
that
tell me
is-
it's Talia.
It is not Talia either. That's supposed to be a Smolder. They keep doing the silly little drafter lol pick.
What do you
things
mean
that get
Smolder? There's a Smolder on the enemy team.
What is that? What is happening?
I'm getting grieved.
You are getting grieved. You are 100%
Oh my
getting
god.
grieved. I'm so lost by what they have done. What? Just one technical difficulties. It's all good. We have fixed it for real this time. For real.
Uh-huh.
I can read.
Okay,
I'm
it's
really good at that.
Gragas.
It
All
is
right,
Gragas.
it's
It
Gragas.
is the
Got
Gragas.
it.
Does that make more
Got
sense
it.
to you? Does that check? Listen, sometimes it's draft error, sometimes it's a producer error. Who's to know? This one's 100% on me though. It's fine though. We got our final picks in order. This is what it's looking like. What are our thoughts here?
Okay. Interesting choices here. I mean, honestly, I don't hate a lot of these choices. The Shen going to be forced into the support pick once again, taking away more of these jungle picks. TMG Flash doing this is kind of interesting though, because you'd expect to see this kind of champion pool takeaway play as something that you do when you're the one a game up and not when you're on your elimination match. This is a lot of very big, you know, amounts of how do you call it, very big confidence coming in from TMG Flash, and just saying, yeah, we're going to get to the next game and then it's going to be over for you. But in the meantime, lots and lots of damage being poured onto Pumpkin here, and even more damage being poured into this bot lane. Smolder, one of those champions that doesn't really care for a lot of these early fights, but at the very least you can get the sacked up as quickly as possible.
Yeah, you're 2 stackers again. I feel like we get 2 stackers a game at this point. Smolder versus the Cho'Gath when it comes to the infinite scaling today. I mean, even I guess Asol also kind of gets a lot of stacks up there, trying to, of course, increase to leveling up that ultimate ability. We have a very strong. I mean, the scaling on both sides is very good. I'm curious to see what this Camille is able to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? I mean, if Chief can get out of lane, this Camille can actually start to make things happen. But unfortunately for the side of Akuma Spikers, right, Phoenix is playing that Shen support. And Shen support, one of those champions that can just do so much work in the right hands, and more importantly, deny so much of the damage that Camille can output after landing those hook shots, right? I mean, every single one of those Qs just not able to do nearly as much damage in these all-ins. In the meantime, Pumpkin was taking a lot of damage early, but into this Anivia, going to be able to trade all that damage right back. And I do gotta say, not a huge fan of the Dark Harvest Anivia. In the meantime, Pumpkin does not have the mana to actually take out the egg, but you know, at the very least, going to be able to get a decent amount of damage back down onto this Anivia until, while being able to sneak right back into the living, wondrous arms of that fountain.
Yeah, and right now it does feel like it's been one of the slower games we've gotten, which I don't hate. I think everyone's trying to play a lot more cautiously, right? Your season is at risk if you're true-minded gaming Flash, and you don't really want to go to Silver Scrapes if you're Akuma, right? Silver Scrapes is such a dire spot to be. I mean, it's always a great time for us to watch, but for the teams playing in Silver Scrapes, that is such a difficult time.
It's definitely difficult to say the
least.
least.
Camille going to try to go for the flash in. Blush able to get caught on the other side. Fun Phoenix looking for the 1-for-1 here. Who's going to find it? It goes over to the Smolder. It's first blood for Akuma.
Yeah, and Blush just barely outside of that W from the Shen here. Not quite going to work out as planned. In the meantime, Anthony just going to be walking a circle around Pumpkin as that breath is going to be doing so much damage to the bird. I gotta say, this Dark Harvest for the Anivia is almost certainly a misplay.
The shield bolt's gonna go through, and Pantheon able to find the kill in the mid lane. It's TMG Flash able to return one.
Well, uncharacteristic Flash coming in from Pumpkin, though. I mean, Aurelion Soul without Flash is a sitting duck when the jungle mid duo actually plays together properly. But at the very least, when the jungler is a Shyvana, there's very little that she can actually make happen early on. Rainy and Fireflans, on the other hand, just kind of going toe to toe. It's another one of those moments where Fireflans is forced onto a little bit more tanky of a champion. Meanwhile, Rainy's just doing a lot of the harassment up here.
Yeah, a lot of harassment coming through. And it might be a kill. Fireflies might go down. Force the flash is the follow-up flash. Rainy gonna find it on the empowered auto attack. And it just comes up clutch. It might be 10 CS in the favor of Cho'Gath, but a lot of that's gonna change when Gragas gets that kill. Now it's a taunt on the bot side. Fluke has nowhere to go. Immediately annihilated. However, behind them is Inaconic and Chief. Chief going to be able to land the stun on to Fun Phoenix. Wasn't necessarily who they were looking for. The tactical sweep is going to land on Blush. Blush has nowhere to go. Blush has nowhere to hide. Blush is going to go to the gray screen, but they don't get to find Shen with it. Meanwhile, on the mid side, Pumpkin able to find Anthony. It is, as I say, it was slow. It becomes a bloodbath across this rift.
Yeah, I mean, slow to start, but absolutely going to be started up here. A raging fire going straight on through the side of Akuma. Spikers, their mid going down yet again. Anthony on this Dark Harvest in India just not enjoying this game whatsoever.
No, it's not an easy time. They've been ganked. They've been ganked twice. They've been annihilated from the rift twice. They don't have their sums. They have no flash, no TP. It's going to be a long game for Anthony.
Yeah, long game for Anthony. Not even going to be opting for a tier, so I'm going to assume that this is going to be the Malignance Anivia, especially if you're going to be going something like Dark Harvest. Just go for as much damage as you physically can. Rainy just able to barely get enough damage off in order to proc that Storm Raiders. So, you know, good stuff for this Gragas in the top lane. In the meantime, Fireflans getting tankier and tankier.
Yeah, Fireflans is just slowly going to keep that scaling going. Slowly going to keep it up.
Watch the cask.
Yeah, I think... How do you feel about the Cho'Gath-Gragas matchup overall?
I mean, generally speaking, it is actually very good for Cho'Gath, right? A lot of these, you know, big tanks in that top lane where most of their damage just comes from their abilities don't really have so much that they can get into the Cho'Gath. The Hail of Blades Cho'Gath is a little bit surprising from Fireflands, but I mean, considering that you don't expect to be able to actually land any autos onto the Gragas, it's more of a matter of making sure that when you do get in, you can make the most of getting in.
Fireflands,
Starfall, not fighting Gragas, though.
Completely caught out, is going to be stepped up from not important, doesn't find the chomp, and it's just another kill over to Rainy. TMG, they are begging to bring this to a game 5.
Yeah, I mean, and Akuma Spikers, on the other hand, are begging that this game just slows down a little bit. That's 5 kills over to TMG Flash, but they are not the team with the Smolder. They are not the team with the Anivia. They're not the team with the Cho'Gath. So many of these champions that just do such a phenomenal job when fully scaled up. And one thing that you always have to remember is Anivia, one of those champions that has a paradoxically lower win rate the later the game goes. But it's not because she's a bad late game champion, but because she's so unbelievably good at stalling out losing games. So right now, Akuma Spikers with this Anivia are looking to do as much as they can to keep the control of this series alive.
Yeah, they're doing as much as they can, and that number is a little bit off. It's actually supposed to be 67 stacks here whenever it chooses to update. Aurelion Sol has been doing a great job at finding some of these early game stacks. 67 stacks already in 8 minutes available to Pumpkin. They're going to be finding that upgraded Aurelion Sol stack very early in this game off the back of some of these non-important ganks.
Yeah, I mean, not important, very clearly able to sneak under the radar, a part of multiple kills across the map. I mean, Ground Starfall has been able to do quite a lot for this Pantheon, not able to catch up as far as the farming concerned, but able to stay in the ballpark as far as the overall gold value is concerned. As long as you can keep that smite at a similar level to the enemy jungler smite, though, you should be more or less fine. Grubbies now going to be going down to the side of TMG Flash, started up by Pumpkin. Meanwhile, Itaconix completely caught on the opposite side of the map. And this is another one of those games where it's a matter of, do you actually have any tower damage? And you really don't have much tower taking from TMG Flash, so higher value Grubbies.
Yeah, higher value Grubbies for sure. The question is, are they going to be able to get through this time? That's going to be a flash taunt coming out of Fun Phoenix. Anthony forced a flash. Another flash going to be used from Not Important, but it's not going to find anything. Meanwhile, over the wall is that Ace Soul. There's going to be the Dragon's Ascent. Nighty night to Not Important, who gets sent right back home, right among the stars. He is annihilated. Now it looks like the Grubs could easily go over to Akuma.
Yeah, and Chief has the Hextech Ultimatum available, but with Rainy in the wings, means that there's going to be very little to be done. That Explosive Cast would do so much work there. So a trade of ultimates is just not what they're looking for right now. Instead, they're looking for the Grubbies. Blush is looking for the 1v1. Fluke in a lot of trouble here, but not going to be able to get that kill anytime soon. Rainy still managing to get as much damage off as possible, just continually harassing Fireflands in this mid lane. Yeah, just constantly invited out for drinks, and this is far from flirting. Like, look at the damage, and look at how it sticks onto that Cho'Gath.
Yeah, Cho'Gath right now. You know, a good Gragas does a great job, but I do think Fireflands, despite the 2 deaths, is having a decent showing still. They're even plating. They're up 20 CS. It's going to mitigate about 1 of the kills from Gragas. So the gold gap in the top lane is actually not that far. I'm just curious what we see when Gragas gets item first. Because once Gragas gets that first item is where I think the ball really starts rolling against Fireflands, and Fireflands starts having a really, really hard time.
Yeah, I mean, I am definitely inclined to agree with you here. It's also going to be the... Oh, hold on. Hold that thought.
This is a big engage coming from Aurelion Sol, who finishes the job on her own. That's egg popped, and they're outside of turret range. It's just a free kill over. That's insane. Dude, that is insane.
Yeah, level 9 for Pumpkin means that Q is off cooldown pretty much all the time, just holds down on that one and manages to take the Anivia down once again. The moment that the stun goes through, we're just going to look in the mini map here. So just the ult's going to be traded back and forth, and all of a sudden it is going to be Chief taking yet another kill. Hextech Ultimatum goes down, and once again it is going to be Akuma Spikers finding their leads. Explosive Cast able to take down Pumpkin though, and the double kill coming through for Rainy, and looking for yet another. Smolar does even more damage down there, and Blush, the last one standing, going to be forced to flash away.
Yeah, it's a big play. So sorry that I got caught on the mini map. I'm not gonna lie, my OBS broke a little bit there and would not transition us back, but it's all good. Big fight comes out. It is going to be Itaconic who picks up so many of those kills. 3, 1, and 3 on Itaconic now. That is huge for the Shyvana. And I mean, we've seen what Itaconic can do from ahead. Blush and Fun Phoenix going to be in front of Chief right now. Chief is getting caught quite a bit. Lots of bloodshed happening on this rift.
Yeah, bloodshed is one way to put it, but right now 9-7, just so much damage going on between both of these teams. The Rod of Age is fully completed for Anthony, is big as far as the stats go. Still need more mana on this champion. Still not going to be able to play the game. Big stun coming in though.
God, good night to Anthony. It's another death. 0-4 on the Anivia. Finally picks up that Rod of Ages. Oh God, it's such a late Roa. It's such a late Roa as well. Anthony has not been afforded the opportunity to play this game. He's just not allowed to play the video game. He's not allowed.
Yeah, I mean, in the meantime, Rainy with the completed Rocket Belt going to be able to do so much work here. I love just people delaying their Lost Chapter items, because Lost Chapter alone is such a disgustingly gold efficient, item component.
Chief,
You really don't
gonna
need
land
more
on
than
top of
that.
Rainy. It's 3 of them. Are they gonna commit to the dive? It doesn't look like it just yet.
Yeah, not just yet. Mountain Drag going to be going down here, and now Rainy going to be getting a little bit tankier in this top side. That dive is almost certainly not going to be able to come on through. In the meantime, Pumpkin picking up more of these plates in that bot side. The quests are already far from a thought for any of these players, as every single one of them has already pretty much fulfilled the quest, barring not important on that jungle pick.
Yeah, the jungle pick is still going to be pretty close. 3 away. They should still have it for the next objective, and they did just get this last dragon, so they're still feeling pretty good about it, I would say. Of course, with it being Chem Soul as well, how much priority do you place on a Chem Deck Soul this game?
Chemtech Soul, when your team is the one that is looking to play at lower health, is very, very high value. There's not too much in terms of the shields in this game. A decent amount of healing coming back and forth between some of these champions. But Chemtech Soul, each individual Chemtech is super high value because you manage to get extra bits of tenacity, and there's just so few good tenacity items in the game right now. Now, the Chemtech Soul itself is, as far as souls go, not bad, but it's going to be a far cry from a, oh wow, GG game over with this kind of a team composition.
Yeah, I would be inclined to agree with that one as well. I am curious to see where this soul goes. My gut's telling me this might be a 7-game Dragon Soul. Like we get 3 on each side.
A 7-dragon game.
7 dragon game. Speaking is overrated sometimes, okay? Speaking, who needs it? But no, exactly. 7 dragon game. And
English
then
ain't my first language. I agree.
It feels like Dragon is, like, it's being contested, but, like, both these teams understand it's okay to drop dragons. Both these teams understand that if you start losing the team fight, we'd rather back out than throw 500 extra gold in the pockets of our enemies. So I am thinking, with the way it's been going, we're going to be deep into the dragon pools. It also feels like this game is going to go late. We're already 16 minutes in. People are still stacking. It's a lot of late game champions. This is not going to be an early finish.
Yeah, it's not going to be an early game, but you know, with all these kills coming through, with all these rotations coming through, it is going to be TMG Flash Dragon, these members up to the top lane where they're going to be able to take out this Rift Herald. And you have had a few questions back and forth as to whether or not the Grubbies are all that useful for rotation. But what I will say is the Herald is very, very high value much of the time. But it is actually not going to be TMZ Flash opting for the Herald take. It's just going to be more vision over that top side. As long as you can deny it from Akuma Spikers, you can deny the snowball. But you're the team with the lead. A little bit of
there's going to be the engage. Hextech
spot
ultimatum
for
is
Fun
dropped
Phoenix.
on Fun Phoenix. There's going to be Mom being called in, and Mom is going to send the lights out to Shen. Meanwhile, Blush is on the run. Pumpkin able to find Exclude. Blush does go down. The fight continues to rage on. Pumpkin going to be caught in the back end. Not important. Going to try to help. Chief is able to finish the job with that Camille Q, and now Not Important is going to be down for the count as well. Fireflan's looking strong. Cho'Gath looking strong. It's only going to be Rainy who survives.
Romeo, oh Romeo, wherefore art this Gragas in the fight? Rainy just not able to do anything over here because it is a immediate catch out onto Fun Phoenix. The Shen pops Blush, walks just a little bit further. The Dragon's Descent goes crazy. The final Q just eats straight through Blush's health bar, and turns out 2 dragons is better than 1. Pumpkin going down early in the fight as well. Chief gonna be able to take that one, as the Gragas is nowhere to be seen in this fight. It is a 4-for-1 for the side of Akuma Spikers. Pumpkin just looking to get these minions as much as possible, but you walk for it a little bit too far, and Cho'Gath goes absolutely crazy on your health bar.
Yeah, and now the question is, where do you go from here? You're down 4,000. The scaling still continues to be in the pockets of Smolder. The Ace Soul, I feel like, is the big one to watch right now on top of that Gragas, because we have been seeing Pumpkin finding a lot of plays in fights. They just went a little bit too deep there and got caught at the end of the day. They found Fluke, but they lost it to Chief. And I mean, if Ace Soul is down, they're not winning the fight. I don't think this Misfortune has the damage to finish a fight, unfortunately, at this stage in the game. Now that they have Bloodthirster, that could change a little bit, but it's still... I'm not hopeful for Blush being able to finish a fight once Pumpkin is down.
I mean, Pumpkin is now going to be up and available for this fight here, but the big question is, are you going to have the opportunity to actually take the fight on your own terms? Rainy, now a huge proponent for TMG Flash, standing towards that back line, trying to make sure that nobody can go in.
Firefly's going to be on top. Can they find? They do find Shen. However, Iconic not able to catch up to that Ace-Soul. They go down, and now Pumpkin might be able to hit for free. That's going to be a huge bullet time. Forces Fluke to be split from Fireflans. Fireflans doesn't find anything in that front. It's a shutdown over to the Misfortune, and immediately after, they do find the belly dance on top of that Anivia. Chief going to go in way too late. It's a bit of a suicide play. It's a triple kill, and now that MF gets to play the game.
Akuma Spikers, riddle me this. Are you looking for a dragon, or are you looking for a woman? Blush and Pumpkin able to survive at the end because the targeting is just not there from Akuma Spikers. Both Iconic and the entirety of Akuma Spikers just constantly trying to get one or the other, but it's just not happening. Blush in the end just barely able to survive. Pumpkin able to free hit the whole time, and Rainy able to buy so much space with the explosive cast. I was saying it was the target focus, but every single person wants Misfortune on a pike, and in the end, turns out a dragon getting a free hit you for free is pretty dang good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That dragon went so hard. And it just, I mean, the better dragon won, as chat's saying. The better dragon won at the end of that. It is, the turnaround was huge from TMG, especially with how much extra kills they got on the back end of that fight, right? We've seen Chief kind of go back in on a weird angle. I don't know if they just thought they couldn't get out. We've seen Fluke being the only one who survives. I mean, good job to Fluke. The question is, how much of this game start turning around once Smolder has that XQ? Because he's getting really close. And I'm curious if that fight goes the same way if Fluke is at those 220 stacks.
Yeah, I mean, 225 stacks is definitely a big moment, but here, Blush in a lot of trouble.
Completely caught. Chief is going to get taunted, though. That's the stand United. Bullet time goes through. Chief goes down. It's a great stand United now. Interconic on the top side trying to make a cross-map play happen. Not important is going to be the reward. Anthony gonna find the first kill of the match. TP comes through. Misfortune on her way. Shen on their way.
Under
Both of them
tower?
do not have their ultimates ready to go. Misfortune gets stunned. Blush gonna lose most of their health bar. Forced to retreat. Rainy is looking for something, but is getting stunned up. Pumpkin not able to find that dragon breath onto any of them. Anthony gonna get a little bit of damage. However, he gets the stun off. Meanwhile, it's Smolder on a big split push here. Might be able to find that mid T2.
Yeah, in the meantime,
Pumpkin
Blush
gonna go
just
back in?
able to grab the wave. Fun
There's
Phoenix
Fun
under
Phoenix.
tower.
The silence goes through. Anthony going to be able to get out. Does not have Egg up at the moment. Chief is back in this fight, and now Smolder's on this very interesting flank angle is going to scare them from engaging any further.
Yeah, I mean, that silence was actually iconic from Fireflans, able to keep Anthony alive. Had it not gone through, Rainy would have just popped that explosive cast, and all of a sudden, you know, that's a dead Anivia on your hands, and that is a look to take the Baron. But TMG Flash and Akuma Spikers just constantly going toe-to-toe, constantly trading blow for blow, constantly looking for more opportunities. But in the end, you have to wonder who is going to come out on top, who is going to be able to take these team fights exactly the way they want. Stand United is down, so you're not going to be able to let your AD carry just split push the same way that Blush got caught out earlier. But at the very least, there is still hope for TMG Flash.
There is certainly still hope for TMG Flash. However, Smolder has the execute now. Smolder is ready to start annihilating champions from the Rift with that Elder buff passage. The question is, are they going to be able to find angles? Are they going to be there for the fights? They are very ahead. They are the only one on this Rift for the bounty. 233 CS. It's even CS numbers across that bot lane. Even items for the most part, but a Smolder at even items is a Smolder to be feared. And I'm curious to see how that plays out. Because at the end of the day, it's 2 dragons to 1. But if a soul gets to just hover around this Rift, they're going to find the victory.
Yeah, in the meantime, Fireflans and Rain just, once again, wet noodle fight in that top lane. Nothing too crazy. It's a little bit surprising that it is a wet noodle fight, considering that both of them literally just went full AP. But it's just kind of how the champions work. In the meantime, Fluke in a lot of trouble.
Fluke is going to be able to fly out of there. However, Chief forced to use that hook shot to get away. And now another team fight itching to break out here. Dragon up in 35 seconds. It will put TMGF on soul point if they can find it. Akuma makes it 2-2.
Akuma just slowly taking control of this river, but they're getting pushed out by the side of TMG Flash. Beautiful vision available for them. Shyvana standing on the front line. The top laners continue to fight it out in that blue side jungle, but who's gonna get here first is looking like it's Rainy.
Here we go. The fight ready. They're going to try to start turning onto Fireflans. Fireflans forced to flash. And now will we see the re-engage? They're getting kind of pincered here. Fireflans going to be able to join his team back for the fight. Iconic has the Dragon Ascent ready. The taunt, though. The taunt lands on Chief. Bullet time goes through, but the Dragon Ascent Fear is going to land. That's going to be a huge starfall. Fluke finds Pumpkin. The Dragon has gone down. Dragon going to go over to Akuma.
Yeah, and it's just a dragon killing masterclass for Akuma there. Just so much damage coming on out, whether it be from Itaconic, whether it be from Fluke, whether it be from Anthony, Fireflans, or even Chief. 5 damage dealing champions on this team, and all 5 of them are ones to be feared. The Baron is not started up. Akuma Spikers are taking it as slowly as possible. They're trying to just make sure that they do not get caught out on the way to Baron. They have the scaling. You do not have to throw it away.
No, you definitely don't want to throw away the scaling. Baron is still available. That's where the next fight's going to lie. And as we get closer to the later stages of the game, it's worth mentioning the other series, X's v Neon, 3-0, Zappa's Little Chuds. These teams are playing for finals. Whoever wins will be taking on X's v Neon. Oh no.
Yeah,
Pumpkin, you're gonna be silenced. Are you caught here? The TP to protect their dragon is available. Feast goes through Fire Flans, finds the pick, and now Rainy is gonna be caught in a rock and a hard place. Fun Phoenix there as well. They might be caught. This might be the biggest throw of all time. Rainy going to be forced to go on the run, but the Hexic Ultimatum is available, is going to land on Rainy. Dragon, passive. Good night. Not important. Going to try to flash away, but the silence is through. That should be Baron over. Can they finish the job or not important? I don't think they need to. They can probably just walk up and go take it, but they're going to make sure they do anyways. It's Chief's life for not importance, and now the eyes are on that Baron. This could be a game-winning Baron for Akuma.
Yeah, and once again, Akuma Spikers have the all-in, have the opportunity. Is just players just not respecting the Cho'Gath. Just walk up a little bit too far. There's no Riftmaker on this Cho'Gath, but he still does so much damage. And once again, Fun Phoenix walks to that Baron, tries to look to make something happen, but the hero play is not available. It is just going to be the purple worm going down, and one more dragon will probably be the difference maker for this game. I'm almost certainly expecting this game to explode on dragon number 5, not because it's necessary, but because these teams are allergic to not fighting over the dragons.
We gotta fight it. We gotta fight it. There's so many dragons in this game. There has been, in theory, right? There's been what? 13 dead dragons on this rift? We gotta fight for the dragon. We gotta do it. But Baron up. You imagine the T2s is the objective right now for Akuma Spikers. They want to get that bot T2, they want to get that mid T2, and then they want to turn it into a dragon.
Yeah, they want to turn it into a dragon, but what they do have is they have the Baron buff, they have the Grubbies buff as well. A single auto from Fluke will almost certainly take down this tower.
Bye, Blush.
Oh my god!
Bye, Blush. Good night. And now, Fun Phoenix and Rainy going to be caught in the back. Hi, Mom. Mom is going to get some of the extra damage in. Not important. Lights out. You are going to not be important to what remains and maybe the rest of this game. At the moment, you guys are down 7,000 gold, and Baron is coming in deep. It's coming in hot. Rainy going to get annihilated, and Anthony putting in some work as well. He went from no money, no bitches, no items to being one of the main stun bots of their team. He's finding the picks they need. Inhib gonna be down. This is dire. This could be Akuma Spikers' ticket to the finals. Are they gonna be able to fight it? Pumpkin is really their last step to go. Fun Phoenix goes down. Pumpkin got nowhere to go. It's the wall. It's the knockup. It's the silence. The towers are being taken. Pumpkin is being taken. And ladies and gentlemen, Akuma Spikers will be taking on XSV Neon in the finals of Ascendant.
Yeah, and the shutdown goes through, but the Nexus falls. Akuma Spikers 3-1 victory over second seed TMG Flash. It is beautiful, it is destructive, and it is a 3-1 for the team that came into playoffs as the 5th seed, a team that people doubted, a team that people thought this... I don't know if we want to be, if we're expecting much of this team, but in the end, Akuma, true to their word, always comes to life in playoffs. And it is beautiful, it is disgusting, it is everything you could use to describe it. It is Akuma Spikers in the grand finals of Ascendant.
Yeah, Akuma Spikers, hell of a series. 3-1. The prediction of, the prediction of Fun Phoenix was correct. It was just for the other side. 3-1 series. It is a close fought series. We had some banger matches here. I mean, the first 2 games were stop heavy. 3 and 4, very, very close. Ultimately, this game, it just comes down to being close into like an infinitely scaling comp is not easy. And Pumpkin, let's face it, 2 things happened. 1, the Pumpkin throw in the top lane getting caught. Cost them Baron, cost them anything. But the other thing is that dragon fight towards the end there. We see that Dragon's Descent onto the Misfortune bullet time that had 3 members in the bullet time. Shuts it off right away completely. And Iconic wins the team fight to them. To me, and I'm going to ask you this as well, who's your MVP of the series? Because to me, it's Iconic. I think Iconic was brilliant in all winning games.
Ooh, for the entire series is definitely a difficult one because Itaconic's play in the previous game was disgustingly good. Itaconic's play in this game was solid. Like there is nothing ever to complain about when it comes to Itaconic. But when it's a team, when it's a matter of a series MVP, averages are one thing, the highs and lows are another. Fireflans in game number 1 just dragged the entire team over the finish line. It was disgustingly high value for that one. They end up losing out against a lock game, and the York game didn't exactly look too great, but I'm biased, so I'm going to say it is Fireflans. I just love me some top lane. Either way, I love me some League of Legends, and Titan Esports always has some bangers to bring us. Thank you, Romeo, for once again doing the broadcast, the production, and the casting alongside me. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Go ahead and make sure to watch the rest of the finals throughout the week from Titan Esports.
And next week, 8 p.m., XSV Neon taking on Akuma Spikers. It'll be me and Anti back here. We can't wait to see you guys. Have a good week.